Well, well, well. Look who finally shows up.
Sorry, did you want to take the shit for me?
Man, I couldn't give you I couldn't give a shit if you fucking handed it to me.
Because you'd be taking the shit.
Nah. Anyway, I've started recording, so this is all staying in. So
Anyway, here's Wonderwall.
yeah. So
New lighting, nice.
got
Are you going to say something there?
no.
Bully
Are
boy?
you going to say something? What are you going to say?
Would you like to share that with the class?
Shall we go over what happened last time?
What happened last
Oh,
time?
you'll start. Oh, okay. Sorry, okay. Sure, you start.
Fucking swear to God.
I'm sorry.
I would like to start. Yeah.
Kind of, like, I almost forgot we were actually playing, you know? I was sitting there for a while, you know?
Could have fooled me, boys.
Would somebody like to recap?
What happened last time?
Well, what happened was Fergus got out his notebook to fucking give a proper documented answer.
Everybody's like, Fergus, why the fuck you tell us what happened 2 hours ago?
Yeah.
So what happened last? So we went back to the vineyard.
Mm-hmm.
They were very happy that they got their shiny rock back.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We managed to get Blue on a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The Malkoviches gave him the horseback. That was very nice of him.
He refused to ride.
Mm-hmm.
Upon obtaining said horse, we found out that Lion can't ride horses. They're very kindly offered to teach him what we can't for the evening.
Mm-hmm.
Upon attempting to teach her to ride the horse, being slapped the ass of the horse, causing it to bolt into the darkness of the woods, causing them to fall off and injure himself, losing the horse. And also causing a massive ruckus in this woods full of infested fucking
Werewolves, it turns out.
Skeletons riding horses, werewolves, vampires, God knows what else. Within then attempted to follow the horse and attempt to get it back, only to find Leon and have her drag him back to camp. Where Leon was lambasted for his stupidity and went to sleep. Following these events, we were then attacked by werewolves. Funny enough. But how they could have found us, perhaps somebody made some noise. We then slaughtered the werewolves, as they were weak and inferior. Finding out that they were werewolves, decided fuck that, continue the night's rest. Lion managed to mind control one of them, telling him to fuck off and find the horse and send it back. The horse did then return, being a better party member than Moon. And I think that was pretty much the session, right?
Just sound like so.
Irina did get bitten by a werewolf, by the way.
Irina did get bitten by a werewolf.
Oh, yes,
Yes.
Irina did get bitten by a werewolf.
But she's probably fine.
Probably. We hope.
I don't know. I mean, let's be honest, Moon's horse is hard to
Hmm.
It's not Moon.
So, yeah. Do we manage to wake up in the morning, Reese?
Well, we got to Kresk.
We did.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
wake
got
up
to
then.
Kresk,
That's where
okay.
we ended.
I hate it when that happens.
We ended looking down the road to the walls of Crest.
The village in sight in the distance.
That's okay then. I can deal with that.
I'm glad you can.
So,
Thank you, my dear.
It's nice, just the floor.
Yeah. Huh?
actually, this is pretty good actually. Pretty good.
Image of Kresk. Ooh.
Excuse me.
So yeah, you not as snowy as that currently, but you see this village with fairly tall walls surrounding it.
Mm-hmm.
You can see like behind it the beginnings of a mountain that extends far, far up and like out of sight into clouds. And like nestled atop like the foothills of that mountain is a large monastery-looking building, presumably the Abbey of Saint Markovia.
Okay.
Um, Aside from that, nothing really of note about the village itself as you're approaching, except the fact that you can see a lot of trees inside the village, which is a little odd, but
Yeah.
a lot of trees. As you guys make your way towards the village,
Mm-hmm.
as you're like from where you are, from where you could see it, it's just you're basically just climbing uphill for the longest time. Um, so you know, as you get when you're getting closer, you're starting to get a little bit, you know, a little bit tired, but not too bad. Takes about maybe 45 minutes, nearly an hour, just to get up to towards the village gates. When you're about maybe 100 feet away, you can see the big like wooden gates are
Mm-hmm.
currently like shut closed, and on top of the like on top of like the like 25-30 foot high walls, um, you can see probably at a glance, maybe half a dozen guards currently just like standing, like watching. You can see at least half of them
Mm-hmm.
look like they're holding bows, the other half holding long spears. Um, all just like watching you, all like dressed in like looks like levers and like a lot of like like fur lined
Mm.
um, clothing. As it's a very cold and dreary kind of area. As you've like climbed higher, it's been getting like colder and
Oh
colder.
yeah.
So yeah. You had a long rest, I believe.
So we are fully healed.
You should be
I
full
believe
on
so.
everything, yeah.
Wonderful. Big fan
Yeah, I
of that.
believe you fought the werewolves it was like maybe like 10 o'clock at night or something, not even.
Mm.
It was earlier
And
than
then
that.
then you had like a long rest as normal.
I'm very happy with that.
So, yeah. So you approach, make your way towards the gates. When you're maybe about 30 feet away,
Mm-hmm.
um, a voice would call out, "Bolt! Who goes there?"
We are weary travelers.
Travelers aren't welcome here. Turn back.
Well, that was effective.
We
We've come to actually see the Abbey. We're looking for sanctuary.
You see the guard who's talking. He sort of like he turns to the guard beside him. See them talking for a moment. Then he like turns back to you. Wait there.
What did
And
that
you
do,
see
mate? What?
one of the guards like go out of sight out from the wall. The rest just still watch, regard you with a lot of suspicion. You can see like all the guards, you know, one's a spear just standing like spear in hand, but you can see a couple of ones who hold bows have actually like drawn an arrow and haven't like fully like knocked, but like are ready to go.
So yeah, it's sitting in the strings.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, just like there are like half dozen guards, just like all just like watching, just like deadpan expression, but just like waiting for like the slightest provocation. So
You see, this is the holiest place in all of Barovia.
Oh yes, I can tell. It looks like they're very proficient in filling people with holes.
Hmm? What's that got anything to do with being holy?
Badum tish.
You're fucking weird, Fergus, anyway.
No, it was a joke because of all the arrows. No? Okay.
Arrows don't. You never been shot by an arrow?
I've shot things with arrows. It typically leaves holes in them.
What the fuck do you shoot with an arrow that goes through it?
What kind of arrows are you using that don't?
Wait, I'm a dwarf. I don't use arrows.
Then how do you know they don't leave people with holes?
Because I've been shot at by elves. And other people.
All I'm saying
Did you
is,
Did you not
And
have the armor at the time?
I did, yes, but the arrow, when it
That
hits
was-
you,
Then that was
doesn't go through you. It
because of
doesn't
the
leave a
armor.
hole.
Because of the armor.
because of the armor.
People are fucking daft, I swear.
All I'm saying is that if you shoot someone, it's still a hole. Right. It's still a hole in a person, even if it doesn't go through to the other side.
No, it's not. A hole
Yes,
has
it is.
a hole you can see through.
So what do you dig in the ground?
Ah! Sorry?
Okay,
Mines. Industry.
I just take out my shovel. If I were to dig into this right now, what would that be?
A
2
trench.
foot deep.
I love the idea that they're the guards at the top of this wall. They're not just watching as this develops into a full-blown argument. As we're all just yelling at each other.
Right up into your face and goes, there's no dwarves in foxholes.
Ah,
You don't need them. You're too short.
It's exactly what we do need them. Excellent camouflage.
Len, this is you can put holes in people, yes? With arrows.
I'm not a weapons expert.
But you know what you know what I mean. You dig a hole in the ground, it's a hole.
No,
I
that's a layman's term for a mine.
I really don't. I mean, maybe if it's a magical arrow, you could do something about that, but I'm not very sure.
I don't think you need a magical arrow in order to make a hole in a person.
ooh, magic arrow.
Perhaps, but then again, I'm not an expert, and I do not wish to waste more time in this conversation.
We're just waiting for them to come back. We could be here for hours.
I hope not.
You could have simple idle chat that has nothing to do with antagonizing one another, and yet you choose a topic that is clear.
This is all because I made a very funny joke.
Whose eyes?
Hmm?
Whose eyes?
Can I did Irina laugh? Reese.
I really did not.
It was still funny. People are all cretins.
Your sense of humor is
Well, first off, it's Cretan, and you're gonna insult me to it right.
So, after maybe 15 minutes or so,
Oh thank God.
you'd see that like one of the large gates would like
Mm-hmm.
open like part way, and you see a man steps out. As he steps out, the gate like kind of closes around like a little bit, not fully, but like definitely shuts like a little bit.
So enough
As,
to like
he
cover the
steps
skin.
out. This it starts like walking towards you.
Mhm.
He walks with like an air of authority, holds himself high. This fairly tall man, maybe like 6 foot tall, man with like wearing like fairly nice clothing with like a little like fur cap over his head. He's got like a big long black beard and like black hair coming out from underneath the hat. Very big stern expression. Yeah. Probably like in his 40s, maybe early 50s, you'd say, I guess.
Okay.
Nonetheless, he walks out, kind of walking towards you all. Stops maybe about 10 feet away. Does like a slight like tilt of the head bow, like hands clasped behind his back. I am Dmitry Kreskov, Bergen Master of Kresk.
It is a pleasure to meet you, Burgomaster.
I must ask, what is your business with Kresk and the Abbey?
We are escorting this young woman here who seeks sanctuary within the abbey.
That and I would seek guidance from the priest and the residents. There has been foul doings in
I see. So you wish to come to the
Alec.
Abbey?
Aye, or if it's preferable, the priest could speak to me out here. I'm easy either way, but our young friend here would seek a residence or protection.
The Abbot does not leave the Abbey.
May we enter to see them then?
You are welcome to try. Most people are turned away.
I believe I have a sufficient reason that they might want to see.
Kind of like nods. Definitely like doesn't like he's clearly thinking for a moment. He's like, very well. I shall escort you myself to the base of the abbey. Please follow me. As he turns and walks back to the gates.
I take it we're
Follow
all
along.
invited.
Aye,
So-
of course you are.
He didn't like seem to specifically only address Bree. It was kind of just like
I was like, just to everybody, that's fine then. I'm going to see if we. On the way, I'm going to keep an eye out for an inn. Because I'm not sleeping outdoors
Okay.
again for another night in a row. Fuck that.
okay.
Wait, this is outside.
It's just under the walls right
Outside the walls, yeah.
There was
Oh,
nothing.
outside the abbey. I was like, what are we looking for? An
No,
inn
no.
at the
Not yet. So you watch towards the gates. You all follow. As you approach, one of the doors like fully opens now, so you can easily slip in. You walk inside and find yourself in the village of Kresk.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar in size and the number of buildings to that of the village of Barovia. There's maybe only about, at a glance, a dozen to 15 buildings total. As you look around, there are loads of trees everywhere inside. There's also lots of livestock. You see some sheep, you see some couple pigs. At one point you think you hear like the moo of a cow, you're not
This
sure.
is the first time we've
And
seen
you see-
livestock.
Yeah. You see as well that like every single house, almost all the area around each one seems to be completely dedicated to growing crops. At a glance, most seems to be like root vegetables, not like wheat or corn or something. It seems to be very, like hardy vegetables, like
Potatoes,
probably like
carrots,
potatoes,
onions.
like carrots, things like that.
Mm.
As you walk in, you see some villagers dotted about. All seem to be like working. Even like you even go as far as to see like children helping like presumably parents, like both tasks and work. It gives a very self-sufficient feel to it. You've heard previously that Kresk is a very isolated place and nobody comes in and nobody leaves. It's easy to see now why nobody leaves. They don't have to.
Preppers.
Interesting.
So yeah. So Dimitri leads you through the village to the base of there's not really a road or path per se through the village, but he leads you like basically just between houses to where a road does seem to begin that goes like very steeply up to the like side of a cliff and then like kind of like switches back on itself, climbing higher and back on itself, climbing higher, like maybe 3 or 4 times, like zigzagging up this very steep cliff atop which the abbey sits. As you're like walking, at one point you hear this very like long drawn out like dong from a bell on top of the abbey that rings a couple times before falling silent again. As you make your way, as you get to the bottom of that road, Dimitri gets there and just sort of stops, gestures towards it. Follow this road, will take you directly to the abbey.
Many thanks for your assistance.
Indeed.
Just nods. Fergus, you did not see an inn on your way in.
It would make sense that there wouldn't be one, I suppose.
Probably don't have any
It
wine.
would.
Okay.
There.
Up the path it goes.
Okay. You begin making your way up the path. You head up the first bit, second bit. Takes maybe close to an hour to get like halfway up, because as the road just gets so like steep, it almost begins to get a bit treacherous. You have to watch your footing quite a bit. A misplaced foot on a loose stone, you trip, you fall off to the side, you're falling a couple 100 feet straight down a cliff edge.
Oh god.
So you take a bit of time and just make your way up this path. Doesn't seem too well traveled, but it's been cut into the rock enough that the lack of use doesn't seem to make much difference. Nonetheless, make your way to the very, very top and find yourself outside the stone walls of the abbey. Let me just see if there's a good image of it. This is pretty good. Oh wait, this is not a LinkedIn image, hold on. There we go. At the top. Yeah, basically that. Slightly less towers, but basically this little self-enclosed monastery with its own wall and stuff. So you make your way up towards it and find yourself. You come up to the wall, and where the road leads up to, you see there's an iron gate. Looks a bit fairly rusted, a little bit bent in places. That's currently closed, and at a glance you can see there seems to be a chain and padlock, locking it. Well, presumably locked.
Can I give a quick divine sense?
Sure. What is the range of divine sense?
60 feet.
60 feet. Let me just check something. It's Fiend Celestial Undead, right?
I believe so.
I believe it's Fiend's Face, Celestial Undead. I'm gonna get that shit tattooed on my fucking arm.
If there's any Fae here,
That'd be fucking weird, right? So why the hell's there a pixie? What's going on?
It flips you the bird and disappears.
I was like,
I'm fairly sure that nothing pings up.
was the ground consecrated?
God, that is a lot of thought for a binary fucking question. Fuck.
Simple yes or no will suffice.
Within 60 feet, though.
Well, if I'm standing
Not
at the
that you
gate,
can, not that you
under-
can see.
the ground under the grate isn't.
Under the gate, no, and just beyond the gate, no.
That's anything. Breach looks a little confused.
Okay.
Strange. The ground's not consecrated. usually around monasteries and
Look
churches
about
and temples, like in the one in Valley, keep the grounds consecrated.
Let's look up at the place. Reese, does it look like it's been well maintained? Like maintained at all?
There is evidence of the passage of time, definitely. You know, there's one or two holes in the roof in places. There's a couple of there's like windows would have been smashed but haven't been replaced. But like it doesn't like it's fallen into complete disrepair.
Okay.
Somebody's
Okay.
still sweeping the flags.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give a knock on the gate.
Okay. Give like a knock, like kind of clangs a little bit, like echoes a slight bit outside the residing area. As you do that, you hear you hear the sound of something from like the other side of the gate, like around the corner of like the little gatehouse. Sounds like someone waking up, perhaps, like a kind of like a kind of thing.
Hello there.
As you do that, you hear a voice kind of call out from around the corner. Who goes there?
Ready for the battle? Paladin,
What you want?
I need some help. Need to speak to the abbess.
You hear like
The abbot.
some whispers, like wait a minute.
Righto.
Turn to
They
like
seem friendly enough.
holiest place in Barovia.
Well, I mean, considering it's Barovia, it's not doing too bad.
As you're
Okay.
watching, you see from like around the corner, something like steps into sight, but like steps at like a very low hunched crouch, almost like Gollum like levels of like down on hands and knees kind of thing. You see this humanoid looking creature, what looks to be a man with different animalistic tendencies. You watch this human step into sight with this got this like what looks like a wolf ear attached to the side of his head. He's got like a big like donkey looking leg. One of his like both of his hands are covered in like fur. His like head like his mouth kind of like elongates into like a snout. Kind of like steps in holding like a shovel in his hand, and from the other side steps another individual, less hunched, with a cloak over them. What you can see of the cloaked one, you see like the left side of their face seems to be covered in what looks like scales. The right side in like what looks like fur. Both eyes are like completely different. One like looks like a predator kind of eye, the other like a prey eye. One of the hands looks like a large large feline paw. The other much more lizard-like. This one has like a long like donkey tail looking kind of tail. Extends out from them. As they both step into sight, one of them like approaches with a key. The lizard slash wolf looking kind of one steps forward with like a key, like unlocks the door.
Holy merciful Lord.
I will lead you to the abbot.
Well, thank you very much.
Follow me. She unlocks the door and like pulls it back. The other one kind of like steps back a little bit and it's kind of just like sniffing the air as this one. I'm gonna say the lizard one and the donkey one to differentiate them. The lizard one begins leading you through the like towards the main building of the monastery. At this point, I will use the map to show you things.
The map.
Can I what do we call it? Can I just like whisper to Bree, like, Bree, what the hell could have done that?
What do you mean? Curse? Magic?
I would imagine that you would be more familiar with what could have done it than
I
myself.
don't know anything about wizards. It's me.
Can I do a little arcane?
You guys are
If
up
you don't
here.
mind. Oh, we're not here.
Oh no, up at the top.
No,
Up where
you're
Ray is.
up here at the top of the top left of the map.
Top left.
Usually,
on that.
usually it's like wizard shit that does that. Fergus, so I don't know. I assume you know more about
Can I-
that than me.
Can I do a little information for wizard shit, please?
You can certainly try.
Wonderful. It's an 11. Can I use my inspiration for that, please?
You absolutely can.
Wonderful. Would you like me to roll again?
No, you can take 20.
I'll take the 20 on that bad boy, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of shitty to be like, nah, fuck you. Make you roll again, and you get like a fucking 5.
I mean,
That's
that
what Nathan would do.
that is what I would do, yeah. That is 100% what I would do.
Yes, but I mean, if you're gonna be using inspiration, I like the idea that it actually fucking gets you something, you know?
Yeah, but I like that it's a risk.
You can roll again if you want.
No,
Yeah.
no, it's fine.
Oh, is it?
I'm following
You
the
said
rules.
that's what you roll it, Nathan, so maybe you should, you know what I mean? That's what you would do. Then,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I
Who am I to say?
I would also personally award my players 500 gold at the start of every session, but like,
Wait,
see, you're
would you
not
look
doing
at
that either.
Guys,
Well,
look at
yeah,
the
dude.
time. Guys,
Guys, barely
look at
give
the
us
time.
XP. What do you mean?
It's shit on Nathan hour. Fucking hell, it's early.
We have to drag the XP out of you. Like fucking Free Willy, hunt the whale.
Okay.
So, using what limited arcane knowledge you have,
Limited.
you
Mm-hmm.
you get the impression that yeah, there's some. You think there are some magical elements to these two individuals' deformities,
Hmm.
but you haven't heard of anything like this.
It sounds cursed.
That's definitely not cursed.
No, it's some form of curse or deformity. This is not typical of any kind of curse I've ever seen.
Ah, that's what I mean. It's wizard shit, isn't it?
Hmm.
Some fucking shaky human magic.
Hmm.
Not even else would stick to us.
It may even be genealogical. Like this may
No.
descend through the generations.
No, I don't think so. Are you fucking telling me that that's genealogical?
Len?
In fact, what even is a gene?
What were we saying, Len?
You fucking ain't wearing denim, cunt.
Stop saying crap for the sake of crap. Fergus.
Well, then you tell me what it is.
Okay. It's hardly a curse, but
Why don't you ask? Instead of being rude and talking about them behind their backs.
Why don't you ask?
At
Then?
that, the lizard one, who like hasn't turned around but keeps walking, just I can hear very well.
You see? Now he knows he's being rude.
All right, then you.
That is.
Apologies, I'm simply curious.
The lizard one like stops and like turns back to you. My name is Ziprik. This is Otto. Like gesturing to the donkey-looking one.
Mm-hmm.
We
Pleasant.
were born like this.
Told you so.
Yeah, this one is like stripped up like from like the nose to this side is all scales. This side is all like wolf-looking
Donkey.
fur. The other one's the donkey-looking one. So there's two.
So Otto was
Yeah.
the donkey, yeah?
Yeah, that one. So one has got a lot of donkey features. That's the one that's got like it's got like a large wolf ear like sticking up like that. But then it's like actual face like kind of elongates into like a donkey kind of snout, and it's got like a big donkey leg, and its two arms like covered in like a donkey kind of fur. But then the other one's more like half lizard, half wolf looking thing going on.
I assume that's why you serve at the abbey then. Yourselves safe, that sort of thing.
The abbot takes care of us and the others.
Oh, very good.
Hmm.
How many more of your kindred would you say are being kept safe here?
The two of them kind of like look at each other, and you can see one of them like looking at their fingers, trying to like count, and then just like looks up. Many.
Nice. It's good to hear.
That's very kind of the abbot.
Hmm.
The abbot is a good man.
Excellent to hear.
Reese, this is gonna sound
Yes.
stupid. Maybe a little insight in that. Can't detect any
Sure.
maliciousness in that. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, go for it.
I can't believe you're inserting the half lizard human hybrid show.
Yeah,
14.
don't we have any trust anymore?
Okay.
God. He's only literally a monster.
It's actually not him I'm worried about. It's the abbot.
What?
You
think
know,
this is
yeah,
full
like
metal alchemist?
nothing about what they said sounded malicious or false. The only thing that gives you like, I think he just like
I'm
Lincoln
taken
feeling that
aback.
like he was distrustful just from like how awful their voice sounds, which is such a nasty thing to think, Lou. Wow, such an asshole.
I mean, I think Fergus is the asshole for literally going like, "Hey, crippled, how did you become like that?" Okay.
I think it's
Jesus.
I think it's very applicable if you're walking through a strange country you're not familiar with, and there's a guy who has literally turned into a monster, and also we just fought some like fucking werewolves on the road. I think that's very applicable to have
You
fucking
can't talk
searched
about
out.
black people like that, Nathan.
Ah,
I think if you find some disabled people in the church, you should ask them to stand there because they're disabled. So
He does it on the street as well. What do you mean?
If I go to a town and every third person has lead poisoning, I'm gonna ask about that. Know what I mean?
Anyway,
thank you, Reese. Apologies.
the one who's the other one, Otto, he'd kind of like, the abbot will answer your questions. Follow.
Of course.
As he begins leading you back towards the monastery. So they both lead you to the sort of like the middle. There's like a large kind of building, right, and like a low wall that goes to like a much larger building on the left. They basically take you to like a door that's like right in the middle between them both. Take you over there, and one of them, Zebrick, pulls out another key and unlocks this like really like nice, like all like back in its day would have been considered very like ornately decorated door, but it's fallen into like a lot of, like time, and the weather is kind of just like defaced it a lot. But yeah, key into the keyhole unlocks this door and like opens it, and gestures for you to follow into a courtyard, which I will now reveal.
I follow along. Yeah, no problem.
Follow along, all good
You
and
seem like
good.
right friendly people, they do.
Indeed, I suppose. Haha.
Yoo-hoo. Hell, you weren't kidding how fucking high up this is. 700 goddamn. Fucking hell.
That's the son of a bitch.
it's pretty high up a cliff, like right on the edge.
Fucking high frost
Yeah.
god up here. Learn's gonna learn the dragon fucking tongue.
There's a nice one.
Why is that old man over on that ledge screaming at the stars? Why is he doing that?
Dude walks down and now speak dragon. I thought you were French learn dragon.
Oh,
Fusroda.
Fos, oh, Vegas.
So good.
Oh,
No, I
yes.
never did that. So
Free word shout.
Oh, everybody begins dancing.
Sorry, Reese. Sorry.
that's okay. I wasn't actually listening, so it's fine.
Fine. I'm just breaking Sean.
We're missing a LAN.
Oh.
I wish I knew.
Also, sorry. I tried my damnedest to get the map to line up with the actual grid, but it did not fucking do it. So,
Yeah, don't worry about
just take that with a grain of salt.
it.
There you go. Ready now.
Unless we have combat, I'm not gonna be too fussed.
There, you're all
I
on
mean,
now.
and even then.
Okay,
Oh, right.
so
I'm fast because every time Reese has to move Irina's token, he remembers she exists.
Oh shit.
that's part of the main reason I made a token for her, is just so I can see
Oh
her,
no.
or like a character sheet as well, so I can see her in the list of the
Because
party.
if we
you
get
know,
all the
just
way
to
up to
try
this
to
fucking
remember.
abbot and Irina still stands outside the town, I'm gonna be angry. Get
So,
stuck on a rock and she's just like running into it.
as you walk into this courtyard, first thing you notice is like there's a fairly thick, like knee-deep fog that just kind of like swirls and rolls around this entire courtyard. Um, it's surrounded by like a 15-foot high like wall with um, like balconies that run the length of it, all directions. As you like get up here, you see that there's what look like guards on top of the walls. You didn't really notice at first, but now that you're like standing here, the reason you didn't notice is how stationary they are. And you get in here, you see that there's these basically like straw mannequins and straw dummies that have been set up on the wall, and like in like armor, like rusted armor, and like holding like sticks to look like guards from a distance. You see like wooden doors to like your northwest and wooden doors to your like southeast that lead to the upper two buildings. In the middle of the courtyard, there's a well with a rope and bucket attached. Along the perimeter of the wall, tucked underneath the like balconies, you see there are like many of these like little stone like sheds, with like doors and padlocks, as well as what else? Yeah, these like stone sheds against the walls, as well as like what looks like some old like chicken coops kind of things as well. And lastly, at the southeast kind of side of the courtyard, you see there's a couple like two wooden posts like in the ground, attached to which are bolts and chains that lead to a short humanoid creature that seems to have like bat-like wings and these huge spider mandibles that's just like kind of like hunched down in the fog, just like looking straight towards you.
The fuck's that thing over there? What?
As you like kind of enter, you now hear the just emanating from different parts of the courtyard are just many like whimpers and like cackles, the occasional like screams from all these like stone sheds.
Can I get another divine scent?
You can. What's the penetration's like a foot of
It's like a foot of stone, an inch of like lead.
Just looking around,
It doesn't go through castle walls, but it goes through like shacks and shit.
looking around
Okay.
at the howls of these creatures in this fucking awful
Yeah, like, that thing
abomination.
over there is definitely an abomination.
Abomination
100%.
insane asylum. I just looking
Yeah.
crossed arms, just going, holiest place in Barovia.
As you like say that, I imagine like Arena behind you is kind of like, maybe it wasn't such a good idea to come here.
Perhaps. But that's
I think I've decided I don't want to stay. So
Oh, you don't want to stay? You don't want to stay in this screaming asylum?
not really, no.
That's fair.
I think that's fair.
I think that's understandable. Yes.
So Bree,
Mhm.
nothing pings up with your the divine sense.
Not even the bat creature.
Not even the back creature.
I look around and I'm like, hold on, wait, that's not pinging up. What the? You see Brie like looking at it and I'm like,
As you like kind of like looking,
I look
Zebra-
and you go, that thing's not a fucking. That's not even a demon.
Zebrik will turn to you all and wait here. I will tell
Hold on.
the
What's that thing?
abbess that arrived.
Hold on.
Huh?
What's that thing?
You like
I
point
out.
over.
Uh-huh.
Zebrik like looks over. Let's see.
Is he one of your mates? Because he's
Like
no,
looks
he's no
over,
demon.
like looks back to you and just says, "That is Marzena."
Oh, right. Take it he did something wrong then.
What'd you say?
Oh, right. I take it he did something wrong.
No, the chains are to stop her flying away.
Oh, okay. That's fair, I guess.
She is not right in the head.
Oh.
The abbot fears for her safety or
Mm,
safety of others.
I can definitely understand that. That's fair.
Wait here. I return.
Oh, that's good.
Just,
Oh, you take magic?
We just.
just to turn back to the rest of you, just patting, holding and patting Kagi.
We need to get the fuck out of here.
You brought the
What
horse
the?
the whole way in here?
Yes!
How'd the horse get up the fucking mountain?
That's right.
How's it gonna get down? You can take a horse upstairs, but you can't take it down. Remember?
I'm sorry, I thought we were working off Skyrim rules. Are we not working off Skyrim rules?
No, we're not.
Fucking
My goat works off fucking Elden
Torrent
Ring rules
rules.
because it's literally magic.
No.
What kind of
oh,
You've got a
just
flesh
go
and
check
blood
them.
fucking dinner down there for the people in that village.
they've got cows. Why would they eat a horse?
No, hold on.
Something different, isn't it?
That I don't know what the hell.
The same variety is the spice of life, Sean.
Variety is the spice of life. But anyway,
You walk down and
It's-
the horse.
The
You walk
detect
down, the
magic.
horse is gone. There's just a cow stables up there. Like, no, that's your horse, mate. What do you mean?
we need to get the
Gaslight you to
hell.
ride the cow.
We need to get the hell out of here. But we need to figure out what's going on first.
But I don't think we do. Born that way. And you let them leave there. They're definitely going to be killed. 100%. No shadow of a doubt. If I admit that in the wild, I would have smashed his head in.
Yes, I agree with you.
Much safer here for its own safety.
Yes.
You ever heard of a sane asylum?
No.
They do exist. They're quite not common, but like.
I've
people
never
go
heard of
cuckoo
this.
every now and again and have to be hospitalised for their own safety before they hurt themselves or others.
What? No, it's
Aye.
preposterous.
I suppose you would. You're a noble, and so nobody really goes crazy as a noble.
Oh.
You just die off. You know.
Or you go to a war with France.
What's France anyway?
It's a country.
We'll never
No,
put
it's
you
not.
for that. Never. So
Anyway.
is that detect magic thing of anything?
He's reading it.
Oh, fair.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to determine. Like, the only magic you detect is Zebrik and Otto right in front of you, hang up, as well as the bat-wing spider-man-able creature tied to chains.
Okay.
Looking at all of them, you get hints of abjuration magic and evocation magic.
Oh.
'Cause
Huh.
apparently, all healing magic is evocation, which I never knew.
I know all healing magic is necromancy.
No,
No,
all
it's not.
like cure wounds, healing word,
That's
It's all
yeah,
evocation.
What?
all that stuff, all evocation,
I thought that was
which
necromancy.
is really strange.
No,
to
the
me,
stuff
'cause
to
I've never-
to bring people back from the death is necromancy. It was necromancy
Yeah,
in
like, whenever
3.5,
I
but
resurrect,
I think I might probably. Yeah, apologies. I'm probably thinking through.
It's all evocation.
mhm.
yeah. So, you detect a lot of like healing magic. Like, like specifically the parts of these individuals that are like animalistic are
Is it-
glowing with like healing magic.
As if they've tried to be fixed.
Comment about this.
Seems that way.
I think they are being worked on or have been worked on to be fixed. I don't think Yeah. So
Hmm.
that's how they do that.
While this is happening, Zibrik has like walked off towards one of the buildings
Mhm.
to like
Hmm.
tell the abbot you've arrived.
What's your abjuration?
Abjuration is like
Shielding, banishment.
shielding magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Binding.
I think.
Detect magic doesn't tell you specific spells, does it?
No.
Nope.
No, just the
You
flavor.
can't tell a spell was cast. It's just the type of magic, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
The identify would tell you the exact spell.
Oh, well. Bane of my existence.
You should get identify, yeah.
Magic.
Alright, welcome to being a wizard.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
I
being a
mean,
wizard
detect
is like
magic's
this.
good use. You just want to know if there's magic.
Well, I don't know what to do with this information anyway. That's what I'm telling them. Because I
Detect magic lets you see there's magic. And then you can make an
Yeah.
arcana roll to see if you could figure out from your own knowledge what sort of magic that would be. Whereas identify just tells you
Yep.
straight up.
oh, so I can do Arcana on top of
Yeah, you're magically knowledge.
Yeah,
You probably
I'd
know
say, yeah,
about
if
like
you wanna
poly-
make
what
an arcana
polymorph
check,
is and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could probably. I'd say if you make a high arcana check, you could basically have a pretty good guess of what the magic is.
Like, you know what skull's from, like, you know what it's done.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, you'd pretty much be like, oh, yeah, that looks like fog wall.
11.
Oh, I can do it again.
I mean, you can do it again.
I have
Okay. What's that? You just use the 20.
a pretty one.
Just use the 24.
Yeah.
You can tell that lesser restoration has been used.
Hmm.
A lot.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Hmm.
What? So these creatures have previously been blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned, and in an attempt to resolve that or reverse that, somebody has cast this lesser restoration spell. It is more than likely a bard, a cleric, a druid, a paladin, or a ranger. Now,
It is most like, well, one would assume they've been trying to fix the issues that are upon the plague these creatures. No.
Well, that and lesser restoration used in context. I can
Hmm.
heal those things, but like, spend a lot of time working on the spell. You can do many things with it.
So you were talking at the same time. I don't know what
Yeah.
you said.
Every day, what did you say?
Say it again.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Say it again.
Okay, either a cleric or a paladin probably did it given where we are right now.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Hmm.
Yeah. I wouldn't know if this is something that needs to be constantly under effect or repeatedly cast in order to keep these creatures in the state. So I don't know if they, for example, turn back at night or I don't know what, that type of stuff, but
That don't
for the
so,
moment they are dependent on this, whoever is keeping them in check, essentially.
no lesser restoration picked up for Bree's eyes, did it?
What's right?
No lesser restoration picked up for Bree's eyes.
Does Brave lesser restoration cast in her eyes?
Yeah, remember she was blinded. In the
Oh.
fight to get the
Oh,
spear,
well,
she cast lesser restoration to cure herself.
Ah.
Oh, well, then yeah, that would pick up, yeah. So yeah, you would have seen Bree's eyes glowing as well.
Oh. I don't know.
It's possible it was
And also
cast
any magical items anybody has, I suppose, of course.
Sean Spear.
Does it? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Sean Spear would have pinged up with like necromantic magic.
That class, like,
Detect magic.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I cast that spell to cure my own blindness a couple of days ago, so you know, it could be some time that this magic's been on them and it's still lingering.
Hmm.
Hmm. As you
Depends
like
on
look, you see
potency, I
that like
suppose.
the magic on Bree's eyes is like fairly subdued, a little dim. The magic on the like animal people is very bright and strong.
It feels like this has been cast recently.
Hmm.
Perhaps it
Fair
cast
enough.
recently. But yeah, the spell is taking full effect on these creatures for the moment.
Perhaps it is a daily thing then that they have to go through.
Which begs the question, if this is what they look like under restoration spell, then I wonder what they're like without it.
They're
Well,
probably dead.
What's
If
written then that's worse than this?
I have a question for you two actually. What are the chances that what's affecting them isn't skin deep? Like it's more internalized. Is that what restoration could that fix that, or is it just surface level?
what
You
do
know,
you
the
mean?
blindness. Something wrong with their blood, so to speak.
I mean,
Something
I
wrong with
could.
their...
This restoration could have many uses outside of like blindness and poison and so on. And casting in the right scenario, those are just the easiest things to cure in the moment.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem to have worked on these poor fellows.
It could be. It could be the only thing holding them together.
Yo, you think it is palliative care?
I'm really trying to say something.
Sorry, Amida.
We can barely hear her.
My experience, it's difficult to fix what's broken. So if something were to be fixed, it's quite possible there's a negative consequence to it as well. And that's probably what we're seeing in front of us right now. So my
True.
assumption would be that there is something probably deeper going on here. And it's something we could see.
This isn't a cure. It's simply to stem the bleeding, so to say. That would make sense.
I
I
posted a
guess we'll
picture of
find
what
out.
these two look like, by the way.
They don't look that bad. Oh my god, I was imagining something way worse. Way more pretty.
Also, I don't know if any of that text that's visible is spoilery, so refrain from reading it.
What?
Aren't awake. Somebody's getting slept. Somebody's getting slept. That's it, boys. Don't sleep. Nobody sleep this entire session.
Holy shit! Don't sleep!
No sleep.
No sleep? Oh god.
Yeah, I guess we should just make idle conversation around the well, and I might talk to actually that bat person and see what they have to say. Crazy or not?
Sorry, what'd you say? I was reading. What?
I might chat to that bat person. What was their name? Let me look here.
Marzena, you were told.
Rosanna. And then they restoration magic on them as well. That would point to that person. There's that bad person over there, Marzena, got restoration magic on him.
Who's the bat?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay. I've downed it over.
Okay. You have a wee dander over. As you like approach, she's like kind of like hunched down in the fog, like just watching you approach. As you like get close, she takes like a couple like tentative steps backwards, and you hear like a kind of like the mandibles kind of open a little bit, and you hear like a.
Hello? Anybody there? My name's Bree.
Whereabouts? Like how close do you walk up to her?
Oh god.
Like if I can sort of like estimate how long the chain is, not within that range.
You think the chain's about 15 feet long?
Probably about 25. A good safety.
Okay.
I don't want to have to fucking kill this thing.
You come to there. You say that. She doesn't respond or move. She's kind of like still hunched down. And then just like leaps towards you. Like the wings extend and like flap really suddenly. She gets to like just about 7 or 6 feet away before like the chain goes taut and like it's like attached around her like her neck and just like yanks her backwards. And she just then like collapses to the ground and then gets up and like kind of like is like pulling at the chain and like is trying to like claw out towards you.
Seems you ever completely fell. Well, lucky for you, there's that chain, or I would have smashed your head in. I'll walk back to the group.
There doesn't seem to be any understanding in the eye. It's just like a very feral look.
That one's definitely feral. I wouldn't go near it. Clear your
As
head
you like
off
come
with bare
come
teeth.
come back, Otto the donkey one is like, yeah, Dagonia.
I learned that.
So this is essentially a care home for people that have been debilitated like yourselves.
Yes.
The abbot will know more as well.
Hmm.
Is he ready to receive us?
Kind of like looked over. Zibrik's not back. And almost on cue, Zibrik walks out of one of the building to the top left of the map,
Mm-hmm.
and basically like kind of take a couple steps out, and then like the lizard arm kind of extends and like gestures you to like come over.
Walk over.
Okay. Yeah.
As you get close, the abbot will see you now, and then like just kind of gestures to like the door.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
So, as the five of you walk through the door, the first thing you probably all notice would be that there is the sound of music coming from this building. As you like step in, there's quite clearly like from as you like walk in, there's like stairs to your right leading down, stairs to your left leading up to a second floor. Directly ahead of you is a long dining table, covered in like cutlery and candelabras and different utensils, but no like food currently on it. Behind that, there's a large fireplace that's currently like burning, which is giving like a nice, quite a warm feeling into this room. A couple of the windows in here are like stained glass windows that seem to depict some religious iconography. And yeah, and from emanating from somewhere above you, presumably on the floor above, there's a sound of a single violin playing. Just a very nice, very sweet tune, just very melancholic, just like drifting down into this dining area. Beside one of the windows, roughly over here. No, wait, not there actually. Over at. Sorry, can't move it.
Mm-hmm.
Over at that window, other side of the dining table, you can see presumably a woman in what looks to be a like wedding dress with a like full veil and like long dark hair coming down her back. And standing just off to the side of her, you see a 6'6", 6'8" tall man
Jesus.
in these long, like cream white robes, with like a long like necklace, a big medallion of the Morning Lord hanging around his neck. As he like turns to face you all with like a smile on his face, he's bald, but he's probably like the most handsome man any of you've ever seen. His face is perfectly symmetrical, and as he kind of takes a couple steps forward, he like just you doing shot.
Oh, I'm getting the vapors.
As he takes a couple steps towards you all, he like kind of his arms like gesture out, and he's, please, do come in.
I don't mind if I do.
Yes, I
You
suppose
take
we
a
can take
few
little
more steps
seat.
in. He like walks towards you a little bit, towering over all of you, and then kind of like folds his arms. You know, into that like into the open sleeves kind of thing, like holding his arms like that kind of thing. I am the abbot of the abbey. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Divine Sin.
Jesus.
Celestial.
Celestial.
Specifically, right?
Yes. And I know
Diva.
what type.
Excuse you?
Say that again.
Celestial Diva.
So, for the people not in the know,
Who doesn't say anything? She just sort of blinks. Looks at him.
As you like pop your divine sense, you feel his eyes look at you, and you know he knows.
She
that you know.
knows.
He knows you know you know.
Yeah. And what about the woman in the
know.
wedding dress?
Let me check something.
It's more your thought. For those not in the know, what a fucking diva is.
So,
The woman in the back does not ping up your divine sense.
Wait,
Hmm.
did you say Deva?
Deva.
DEVA,
Deva-
yeah.
DEVA, yeah.
I thought you said Diva, like D-I-V.
I think I did
Diva.
say
Deva, it's the same
Deva,
thing.
but it is Deva. It's
Oh,
spelled Deva.
Atlantis means God.
And D&D, it's a specific
It's specific.
creature.
It's celestial.
I'm hesitant to say monster, but like it is in the monster manual.
They're,
Yeah, it's
they're
a specific race.
It's a specific
Uh,
race. Think, you know, like when you think of what an angel looks like with the muscles and the big wings. Basically, one of those.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hands off the weapons.
Hands on the weapons.
Oh, like them a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Catholic Church does not approve.
See, when you think of an angel, that's literally what this looks like. But not right now. It looks like a normal human man. Very tall and very beautiful, but human man.
He just doesn't say. He just regards him like.
As you are all standing there, he would you like any refreshments? I have a pot of stew currently cooking.
I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I could definitely go for some stew.
Priest, let divine sense. The ground wasn't hallowed.
No, it was not.
Okay.
It was not consecrated nor desecrated.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just in case it was. Yes,
That's
I definitely agree. Then I could put a nice big bowl of stew to go.
yes, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
He like smiles and he kind of like gestures towards the dining table and please sit wherever you would like.
Thank you, Abbot. You seem to be somewhat of a caretaker up here of those less fortunate.
He'll basically gonna go and like begin to like go to the fire and like spoon some stew out into bowls, but all while like replying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I take care of the residents of the abbey. They are my responsibility.
Hmm.
And just like handing bowls of soup out to each of you.
These residents, they arrive here as orphans, or they always been in here?
Many years ago, a large number of people, they came seeking healing. I provided healing, but there was unforeseen side effects. And so the people decided to stay rather than return. And so they have stayed and bred
Can
with one another.
bread? Oh my.
Yes,
Can I?
Why?
they are a prolific people.
Can I fucking? Can I do a little fucking insight, please?
Right then.
Sure.
It's a nat 20 there, Reese. It's a nat 20 and a
Opposite of the
nat.
frogs.
It's a nat 20 and a nat one.
You've no reason to think he's lying.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that I don't have to. I have to trust him.
No, it doesn't. But
Yeah. Okay.
like, as much as you want to think he's lying, you don't think he is.
Okay. Okay. I like your words, Magic Man. Do I get any other kind of little funky vibes about him? For example, the fact that he's an angel with a nat 20.
Fuck no.
Oh, I'm gonna say absolutely not. No, none of you know except Bree.
Oh, okay.
Like
And,
there's,
Um,
and Bree's not telling. Ooh, ooh.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
so-
I'm ousting the
no-
man as an angel in front of everybody immediately. That seems a little bit rude.
Well, you know, is like everything he's been 100% truthful.
He
Um,
believes it as well.
Something
Oh.
about his like speaking pattern makes you
Think it's something from the future.
no.
It's
Um,
rhythmic. It's excessively rhythmic.
Something about the way he speaks gives you this impression that's like I'm trying to give you something for that nat 20. He speaks like this isn't his first language,
Okay.
or
I'll take that.
second, or third, or fourth. Like he
Speaks like
speaks
he's
in
reading
such
it
a
off
way
Google
that
Translate.
yes, except worse. Like almost like
He speaks like he doesn't actually understand the language. Like, kind of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
He speaks like he's saying a code that will give him the right answers to a fucking
He's
puzzle.
like trying to
Yeah,
he's trying to brute force what he actually means into a language he doesn't fully comprehend.
Basically, yeah.
Hmm.
Go sit. May we sit?
Please, do.
What happened to the Abbey then? And there's a slight state of disrepair and the ground's not been consecrated. There's certainly no services going on. Has this been since the march on the Ravenloft? This is the Abbey of St. Markovia, is it not?
Yes. I was able to glean a small amount of information about the previous occupants and their transgressions.
Transgressions.
Shortly following the march on Castle Ravenloft against Strahd, the surviving clergy returned, a broken, defeated people. They locked themselves within the abbey and proceeded to cannibalize each other as they quickly ran out of food. I came shortly thereafter and did my best to clean up.
My word.
Understandable.
I believe the Lord Strahd drove the clergy mad as he paraded their saint's corpse in front of them for days.
Ah.
That would probably do it. That makes.
And so,
How do you know
I
that?
have
Last anybody else knows. Not all those people that went into the Ravenloft vanished. So you say that Strahd brought the corpses out and paraded them?
I was able to glean this from the corpse of one of the clergy. I had him rise and tell me before I put him to rest.
Of course.
And so I have endeavored to free Barovia from Strahd for the last century.
Oh, yeah, excellent.
And then he like kind of gestures off to behind him. This is my creation. Her name is Vasilka. And he goes over and like turns the bride around. Still like got like a veil over her face and like kind of brings her over a little bit. This is my life's work. I believe if Strahd can be made happy and content, the curse upon this land will fade.
Not so sure about that, but certainly an interesting thought. Do you say you've created this person? What do you mean by that? Surely you've not taken an innocent soul and transformed them into something, have you? That would be conduct unbecoming of, well, somebody of your stature.
Not at all. I have created her from different parts. Parts that people no longer need. And he like holds up like one of her arms and like look at the perfect geometric stitching of the seams. And as you like look, you see like they're like it is different body parts, like proper Frankenstein of this woman. And then as he pulls back the veil and like reveals her face, and you see these like two like piercing blue eyes surrounded by nothing but muscle and sinew and bone. The only part missing is a face. The final touch.
Then you're
And he kind of like
awful.
his eyes kind of pass over and like look at both Len and Irina. You two have very pretty faces. Would you let me have it? You're not using it right now. You can still eat and sleep and breathe
Time to leave.
without a thing.
Excuse me a moment. And I would like to fucking get the ladies.
Yeah.
Leave, please.
Yeah. Shield is like prepped and like standing as like in front of them as I can, interposing with Fergus.
There is no need for aggression. I will not take from those who are not willing.
I just look at that guy and I say, well, tell me more about this plan to satisfy Strahd. Because we've heard this story before, haven't we? I live at party. We've heard the story before about giving him what he wants and you'll keep everyone happy. You say that giving him what he wants will lift the curse off of this land. Now, what's to say that you give him what he wants and he won't just lift the curse off? He'll just keep it as it is, but he'll just keep wanting more.
I see. You misunderstand the nature of the curse. Strahd did not place the curse.
Pardon?
Strahd is as trapped as everyone in Barovia. He wants to leave as well.
I don't understand.
¿Por qué?
Ah, so somebody placed the curse on Strahd to keep
Language
him here.
ruin.
Is that it?
S'il vous plaît?
Strahd was cursed by something called the Dark Powers. They bind him to this land. He wants desperately to leave.
All the blood has left my face.
He kind of like turns and like looks at you, Fergus.
Mm-hmm.
Your face is interesting. Would you give me your face?
No.
You delay so much on that response.
Kind of like his eyes kind of furrow a little bit. He's like, "Why not? You're not using your face. Vasilka needs a face more than any of you."
We are not people of science. We don't understand things, how to sort things based on need.
There is no science. She needs something you have that you do not need. I don't understand your hesitance.
In the same way that we don't understand your ability to prioritize communion over what's already there. So
Surely need trumps want.
that's not always true. I'm really sorry about that. That's the request of none of us, Your Honor. Unfortunately.
He like specifically like looks at Irina and is like, "You will not give me your face?" And she's like, no,
Irina, why don't
no,
you
I
go
will
and get some
not."
fresh air?
Can we
Like, gladly. And she begins to like walk away.
Look after Kagi if you need him.
where we're from?
Who?
We don't do full on. We don't give away faces.
Can I-
Extremely unsuccessful. But we do provide skin grafts of samples, tissue samples. It's the best we can do, but we do not provide full-on faces because it's extremely risky and unsuccessful.
Hey, Godric the Grafted,
Look,
calm down.
nobody here is giving you a face.
There is no risk involved.
That's not the point.
Vasilka is fine without a face. You will.
Basilica doesn't
too.
also have a mind.
So why don't
Is
you
the
make
issue.
her as she is?
So would say Brie.
Basilica also does not seem to have a mind there.
Fair. He looks to you. Because I cannot present a bribe to Strahd faceless. He would not be pleased.
In the same way
You're
that
going
we
to
would
give.
not be
You're going to give.
full-on faces.
You're going to give Strahd a beautiful soulless automaton, and you think that that is going to save us all.
Yes.
What do you mean it's going to save us all? It's going to break the curse. The curse that binds Strahd to this place and just let him out
But-
somewhere. That's
but-
not saving anybody.
Bree, I don't think. I don't think it will break any curse upon this land. I
also
think-
don't think that
no,
either. I'm just saying that his logic's flawed.
From whatever this man's saying, I think that if what he's saying is correct, the land itself is the curse.
What?
You said that Strahd was brought here as a punishment from some dark powers, yes?
Aye.
No.
No, he was cursed to reside here by the dark powers. That's what he said. So the curse isn't, the land isn't the curse. The curse is that he can't leave. So if you break the curse, the land's free, but also then Strahd's free. So Strahd just goes and fucks up somewhere else.
This is hell.
Anywhere with you's hell, but you don't see me complain.
No, this is actually hell.
No, I've heard
You
it's
know
much worse.
nothing of hell.
Was that a threat?
To be honest, Fergus, probably a statement of fact coming from him.
What
You just
is
think-
what is happening? Why are you talking like that? Why are you so relaxed about this, Bree? Please explain.
I did look around and like, do you mind if I just cheer with everybody else? They might understand a bit more where you're coming from. Or do you wish to
Ah.
reveal yourself?
I understand. And then he kind of pulls his sleeve, like arms out from the sleeves. As he does, all of you essentially are like blinded for a second. As this like bright golden light just bursts forth. And as your eyes kind of like adjust, it's like proper like Gandalf the White kind of shit.
Wow.
As your
Oh.
eyes kind of like adjust, you see standing before you is now like a 7 foot tall angelic being, like with this like pale gray skin, like bald head, huge like feathery like wings emerging from his back, and like in one hand is this like massive glowing like mace, just like rippling muscles, and then like as quick as it appeared, it just and the abbot stands before you once more.
I mean, you ask for it, Loon.
Okay.
He kind of like,
So that we go, no, we run backwards.
I wish you no harm. I will not engage in any aggression. That is not provoked, of course.
Of course. Well, we did come here.
I understand you are unwilling to give me your faces.
You never asked for
So-
mine, which I find a little bit offensive, but forgive you for it.
I am sorry. Your face is a little too short. It would need to stretch over Basilka's frame, and that would give an unattractive look.
We can't be having that now, can we?
We cannot.
Anyway,
So,
not that
I would
much.
ask, would you be willing to fetch me a face?
Perhaps, but I do have something I want to talk to you about first.
Of course, I am
I'd look at
open
Fergus and go,
to
"Shut
any
your mouth."
and all questions, and you may make use of the Abbey's library, should you desire.
That sounds fantastic. Bree, while you speak to him, why don't we just wait at the library?
Yes, we'll have a look in the library.
Yeah, sure,
I start.
go on
I
ahead.
start. I start sprinting outside to Irina.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
also going to go out to him and try to get to the library.
Like holding Fergus by the neck and going,
I'm having a full-on panic attack, by the way. Like, I'm freaking out.
Yeah.
I
As
don't
you
care.
as you guys are all leaving, he please ask Zebrek to show you the library. As you all head outside.
Mhm.
And then he just turns to you, Bree.
So, friend, do you know St. Andrew?
Okay. What do you know, St. Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like,
Why, if you're staying here for so long, have you not consecrated this ground? As soon as you're in age.
as to the question of consecration, it has proved very difficult to erase the histories and atrocities committed within this abbey.
Hmm.
I hope with time I will be able to cleanse this abbey.
Suppose it's a testament that the ground is not desiccated.
It was truly an awful sight to behold.
Hmm.
Lesser beings could have been driven mad.
Understand. Now, about St. Andrew then. Do you know about him? And could you help me in tracking down
Andrew.
the holy relic that his remains have become?
Last I was aware, the holy remains of Saint Andrew resided below his church.
They did used to, but they have been stolen by Strahd, fortunately. I was wondering if you might be able to help me locating these remains so they could be returned to their rightful place.
Kind of like, he thinks for a moment. Please, give me one moment.
Of course.
And he proceeds to, he does like kind of like a gesture with his hands. You see his eyes just turn completely like a white glow emits over them as he does these like strange gestures and begins to chant in like a celestial.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as he does, he like stops. His hands kind of freeze for a second. The eyes are like open, shining white, and then the eyes like come back to normal. The remains of Saint Andrel are within the coffin maker's shop in Balaki.
You write that down. That's very helpful.
Holy
Thank
shit.
you very much for your assistance.
We just
Of course, happy to help.
holy shit, guys, we just found a link to the Barovia wiki. Amazing.
Now, I see you're wearing a pendant of the Monlin Lord.
Yes, I thought it easier for residents of Barovia to accept me as a believer of their faith.
But that's not your. That's not who you originally served. I s-
Oh, of course not.
May I
I
inquire?
serve another.
May I inquire? I assume they are not of this plane. Which begs the question: how did you end up here?
My master's name is unpronounceable in this rudimentary language.
Hmm. He's not the god I would know of then. That's fair.
I do not think so. As for how I came to be, I uncovered the. I heard rumors of a demi-plane where a vampiric lord resided and of a trapped people. I sought to liberate them.
A most noble goal.
It is my purpose.
Of course. Hmm. And in service of this goal, you've come to the conclusion that the best way to free these people is to appease the vampire.
I believe so. I, in my travels, discovered a repository of lost knowledge in a temple in the mountains. In it, I discovered evidence of these dark powers and details of the curse laid upon the land. Strahd is cursed to never find peace or happiness or fulfillment.
And do you think by providing him the perfect partner, you could provide these things and
I
just break the
do.
curse?
That is what he strives for. Over the years, he has been looking for his love.
That's a little bit sad.
It is a tragic tale.
Well, it would be if it wasn't Strahd, I suppose. Can't really feel bad for the devil now, can we?
Strahd is not a devil. He is
Oh.
a vampire.
Aye, but he's definitely evil. Let's put it that way.
Yes,
Interesting, interesting. And these body parts woven together so finely. I take it they all came from people who'd passed on.
yes. As well as from some of the residents of the abbey who gave them to me willingly.
Aye, about the residents of the area. I know you say you're even safe, but there's a lot of whimpering and crying going on out there, and a lot of chains for my liking.
He kind of like looks past you a little bit. And you see he like this kind of like a definitely like sad kind of look comes over his face as yes, as I healed the ailments of the people here, they wanted more and more parts of various animals. Too many parts breaks the mind. They cannot handle the sensory overload, and I cannot deny their requests.
Understandable. Cannot cannot deny their requests because I think it's in their best interest or simply your nature.
Yes,
Mm.
they all want to be better.
And better is more animal parts.
Yes, most animals are better.
Well, I disagree in that. It's not.
He just has a completely blank face and doesn't say anything.
I know, but she says it first. Anyway, so do you not think these people who were originally sick understand when you healed them? Would it not be in the greater good to let them pass on into the cycle to be reborn in a healthy body? And there's a liberal use of quite substantial healing magic going on
I
out there to keep them alive.
You misunderstand. I do not keep those who should pass alive. We
Hmm.
have an extensive cemetery behind the abbey.
Hmm. Then what of the one that's chained to a post? Clearly driven mad by
Ah,
bestial powers. Why have they
Marzena,
not been allowed to pass on?
I do not believe I have the right to end a life.
Hmm.
So,
But you have
those
the right
whose
to.
minds are too broken must remain locked up and fed
So you believe
until they pass naturally.
Interesting. So you believe you've got the right to deny them death?
Huh?
So you believe that you don't have the right to kill them, but you have the right instead to keep them alive against whatever their nature is, to imprison them forever. Surely that's no better than being dead.
Life is a gift.
Well, it is. And they'll be alive again, perhaps in a different body. They'll come back. It is the cycle, the natural order of things, and by disrupting that through
That is
keeping them alive,
the natural order.
you're
However,
disrupting.
the natural order is already disrupted in Barovia.
So you have the right to disrupt it further. If you've got that right, then why don't you have the right to take their life? You don't see the disconnect there.
I do not follow.
Hmm. So you won't let them pass until they grow old and die in a cage, is what you're saying.
I heal those who ask. I
And those that
will
do not.
not end the life. If one does not request my aid, I will not give it.
So you won't end the life, right? You won't give aid unless it's requested. The what of Pyramanus? You're imprisoning her without her consent, as you deem it's in her best interest. You've not had anything told you. How's that any different? You don't
It
care about her
is.
wishes now, but you did before. Surely
It
that's not
is
hypocritical,
very different.
is it? Explain.
Marzena requested my aid.
How long ago was that? And was that aid her alive even after she's lost her mind and can no longer continue to request your aid? Because your aid requested once doesn't mean it is in perpetuity, you understand?
I do not recall how long ago it was. Some number of years.
Hmm. Do you still feel a duty of care over Marzena then? Carry out the duty as you see it that she requested.
Of course.
Interesting. May I take some time to look around what's left of the monastery? I'd be most interested in preserving its history as a religious place. While my
Of
friends
course.
talk amongst themselves about their next course of action.
You are free to explore the entirety of the Abbey.
Thank you for your
I
hospitality.
would warn you, however, in the quarters section, there is a guard who will not react kindly to someone who is not myself.
Guard?
Yes,
What's he?
one of my early creations.
And surely your greatest creation is name that. Is your good lady there? What can the guard be protecting that's so important?
He protects the residents from each other and from escape.
Oh, very well. Understandable. I'll make sure not to annoy him.
That would be best.
Sure. Thank you for your time. The ball is still
Of
down.
course,
I'm sure we'll
you
back
are
to talk later about your good lady and how we can assist in disrupting this
pleased.
curse upon the land. I
Your
am interested in
assistance,
helping to disrupt the curse.
your assistance would be appreciated.
Hmm. Aye, so with yours. Should have leaves.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, whilst that was happening,
Mm-hmm.
you other four, well, the other three, come outside. You find Arena kind of standing there. She's kind of like looks a little pale. It's like kind of just like a kind of thing.
That was an angel, and he asked for my face.
Yeah.
That was an uncomfortable encounter.
I am
Who's an
completely
angel?
I am completely pale.
Lewin is just like basically on his fucking knees holding his like, oh, it was an angel. Huh.
You should not cross him.
What?
As Bree has an argument with him.
That's the they're not real. This is the stories. Oh, can I
What
say
the-
holy shit anymore? He looks at Fergus. Can I say that?
Hmm?
How can I still say holy shit?
Lewin, pull yourself together.
I'm just fucking, I am in shock. And I just mutter to myself, for if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but sent them in hell, putting them in chains of darkness to be held for judgment. We need to find this library.
Library. Yeah. We should find this library. Yes.
What the hell could it have done to end up here? Well, looking at the thing that it's making, I have an idea. Let's find out what we can and get out. Well, Bree's still distracting it.
Yes, so stop talking. Who's supposed to bring this again?
Zebrick, the
Zebra.
half lizard, half wolf one.
Yeah.
He was standing nearby with Otto. As you all came out,
Mhm.
she would slowly approach and be like, "Is your business finished?"
Seems to be.
No, we've been requesting. Can we see the library, please?
Kind of like looks at Otto, looks back at you. Did the abbot say it was okay?
He did.
Yes. In fact, he specifically requested we look at it. Would you please take us there? You promised that you would take us there.
Follow me.
Thank you.
You're like, who's the highest like passive perception? Are you three?
Not me.
I have.
Dark so
I have
It's not
14.
dark.
I have 11.
What did you say, Sean?
Yeah,
I
the
think.
elf. I was going to say the elephant, but I meant the elf.
Remind me, does passive include your wisdom modifier?
Yes, it does.
Then
I
14.
believe so. Okay.
Yeah, it's 10 plus whiz.
Loon, you would hear Zibrick under their breath say something about another one. That's it.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Knowing that he can hear very well, I'd say nothing for now. Okay.
Okay. So he leads you to the far side of the courtyard.
Okay.
I imagine also that the Otto, the donkey one, has just been like with Kage, just like kind of like stroking his mane. So he leads you to the other side of the courtyard and unlocks the door, leads you inside to over here. Let me see, nothing specific. This is like a little into like what looks like a little foyer kind of area that maybe was once like an office. There's like the remains of a desk and a chair, both of which have been like smashed to pieces.
Mm-hmm.
There's a corridor to like the south that leads towards a staircase that you are led towards, and as you are passing by the other corridor, you just see this like long dark corridor with many doors along it. Out of here, you hear a lot of muffled voices, some like whimpers, the occasional like yells and yips. Um, and about like halfway down the corridor, um, you see just standing like right in the middle is this like 7 foot tall amalgamation of different body parts sewn together.
What in the hell?
Like a proper like actual Frankenstein standing in the middle of the corridor. Just standing completely stationary.
I whispered to Fergus, you were all right. This is totally an insanitarium.
That is nightmarish. What did you say, Amrita?
So this is an insane asylum. You were
I don't think this is an insane asylum anymore.
well, it's insane to me.
It's a farm.
The fuck?
Where do you think he's getting the parts from?
I like look at these things. Reese, do any of them seem to be missing any body parts?
Zebra Naruto?
Yeah.
No, they have all their limbs. Just some of them are like animalistic.
They don't look sewn in though.
Oh no, like they look like perfect hybrids.
Yeah.
Like you can't tell where like normal human flesh turns to an
Yeah.
animal flesh. It's like very, very
Hmm.
like good, you know. So Zebrik leads you past that corridor towards the stairs and leads you upstairs. So he does.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'm sorry we have it. I'm really sorry we're here, but I'm sorry for myself too.
What do you mean?
Hmm?
What do you mean?
Do you want to be in this place, Fergus?
No, I certainly do not.
Yes, that's where we can.
I got library.
I've revealed a part of the map to the far right, the upper floor. So you guys have been led into here.
Okay.
Ah. See it.
Boop.
So yeah, over here.
Wonderful. Go on. Give us the library. I'm gonna research so much shit.
Okay.
You honestly think some guy would have kept all his dirty secrets in his own house, though?
You don't? Where else are you gonna keep the secrets?
If it's worth it.
I think then they might have something of use.
I hide all my bodies in Nathan's house.
I hide all my bodies in Paul's house.
Well,
That's where all those bodies came out of.
point is, both of you have bodies in your houses.
Yeah, and skeletons in the closet. So, do we get shown the library, Reese?
So
Ooh.
you get led up into like this room at the top of the stairs. Is the library. There's another door leading out of it to the rest of the upper floor. As you walk up and in, it's like every wall is. Oh yeah, this little map. It's 1 square is 10 feet.
Okay.
Each wall is like floor to ceiling bookshelves the whole way along. Every wall's covered. A good few books have been like pulled to the ground. Some are open. Some look a bit damaged. There is a small hole in the corner of the room leading outside, like the roof. So like a bit of like water damage has occurred in places. But as you all like walk up into the library, first thing you notice actually is that there's light as sitting on the floor near the back wall, just like sitting cross-legged. You see a woman like poring over like a large tome just held in her like hands. This like woman in like a very like bright orangey red like finery, like long dark curly hair.
Mm-hmm.
Very like tan skin. She like as she's like looking reading this book. As you guys are coming up the stairs, you just hear her voice. I don't need any food, Cloven. I'm okay. And then like she like looks up and who are you?
Visitors.
She
Good
kind of
evening.
like shuts the book, sets it down, stands up. Stands up in a very what's the word? Um, defensive stance. Like like got like one leg back kind of thing. She's got like a hand on a sword at her hip kind of thing, and is like
Mm-hmm.
just like watching you all warily.
We are researchers, ma'am. Here to
We
peruse the library.
we double checked with Sabbath before we came in. He said we are allowed.
I didn't realize that there were any individuals here.
Nor did I. Well, I suppose if the abbot says it's all right, who am I to infringe upon his hospitality? Uh, my name is Esmeralda Devanier. Nice to meet you.
Hold on a second.
Uh,
I don't Google her fucking name.
No, I'm searching my fucking notes, you prick.
yeah, yeah.
We've not met her before.
No, but I'm pretty sure the bus told us about her.
She does have a face, yes.
She does have a face. I just
Oh.
like,
Very beautiful face, actually. She's very attractive.
yeah, okay, so I
I think,
why couldn't
what's her name?
Ah,
Is it Hunchback Notre Dame? Is it Isabel? Isabella? Or is she called Esmeralda?
I don't know which one it is, but there is an Esmeralda in the Disney movie.
Hunchback Notre Dame girl.
yeah. Esmeralda. Oh, I've heard about you before.
Kind of like looks at you.
Probably should
You've
clarify
heard
before
of me?
Yes, I had a conversation with a certain stone statue.
a bust.
Ah, you met Buster.
Indeed, yes.
Uh,
He's a nice little fellow.
Indeed.
We exit Enter's tower. Fergus, you wanted to do some research, right? Just like slap chest, like not taking his eyes off Esmeralda.
Well, there's plenty of books here. Please help yourself.
Can I ask, how did you get here?
To the Abbey.
Yeah, what brings you to the Abbey? Why are you here?
She kind of like looks at you, looks at the rest of you. I'm just researching.
Okay. Do you come here often? Or do you live here?
No, this is my first time to the Abbey.
Oh, okay. Well, same as us, I guess.
Indeed.
We're just a couple of hours behind you, I suppose.
So it would seem.
I don't care at all that she's vigilant or afraid or whatever.
Okay.
Just bathroom chatter between a bunch of girls. Nothing much.
Okay. Yeah, she's very standoffish.
Well, I don't care.
Still hasn't taken her hand off the sword.
I don't.
So the abbot, right? Really weird.
Did he try to take your face as well?
Yeah, he's a little bit eccentric, I suppose.
Did you know he was an angel?
My face gives it away.
I did not.
Should I have
What?
said that? Should I have not said that? I just look at Len and Fergus. Should I have not said that? No.
You said it now, so it doesn't.
He appears to be some form of holy entity, yes.
Wow. All right. It makes no difference to me. I'm just here to use the library, so
As are we. We're going to try and get it. We're trying to go and research as much as we can and get out as quickly as possible before he starts peeling us.
Well, good luck.
Is there a reason you come to this library?
Yes.
Can I ask why?
Well, I don't know how long you've been in Barovia, but the library of Castle Ravenloft would be much harder to get into.
I chuckle as I start looking through books.
Okay.
And I don't know where the Amber Temple is, so
What's an Amber Temple?
it's apparently some place that's full of lost knowledge and magical artifacts, lots of books, but I don't know what it is, so.
Look at the group and go, Amber Temple, Amber Temple, go, look up information. Okay.
I am a pious man. No temptation
I don't know
can
what it
stray
is.
from the path of
It's
God.
really annoying.
Caporal, there is an extra thick gypsy girl outside with.
Alright, then we'll leave you to your reading and we'll also try to read something.
As like gives you a nod as she picks up the book that she was reading and kind of just like stands in the corner with like her back to the wall as she's kind of like begins like flicking through it again, but is like constantly just like her eyes like flicking up at each of you.
We're just chilling on the side, trying to be a fun group so that she's jealous that she's all alone and has no friends in this unsafe insane asylum. So,
While you guys were like all talking, it seemed that Zebrik had just like went back down the stairs and left
Fucked
you
off,
all.
yeah.
He's just like doesn't give a fuck.
I
So
do.
yes, so Fergus is looking for books. Is anybody else? I say anybody else because it's just you two.
if there's an ability to learn more skills for reading books,
I do hope you don't mind interrupting you again, but you wouldn't happen to know the location of Van Richten, would you?
You watch her face become very stony as you ask that.
Okay.
Yes. What business have you with Van Richten?
Oh, our holy person wants to murder him.
You can feel the venom as she says his name.
Is he not some form of monster hunter? We're hoping to combine our efforts with any that would ally themselves against Strahd.
Do yourself a favor, don't look for Van Richten. He works alone. He will not work with you.
why?
It's not my place to say.
Well, we are saying we will go to him, so if you really don't want us to, then tell us why. It's a simple question. It shouldn't be that hard to answer. If you can give us a warning, you can at least tell us why.
It's a good point.
You care enough to give us a warning.
That is true.
I care enough to give you a warning. I don't care enough to save you from your own stupidity.
Well, it's not our own stupidity if we don't even know why.
It most certainly is. If I tell you not to look for him and you look for him and
But
find
we
him,
don't even know you. You could be lying to us for all we know.
you're right. And then she's like, looks at her book again.
Oh, she's like, yeah, it could be. Okay, we'll just have a little look for some books, please.
Thoughts her?
Yeah.
Without letting her know that I had picked
Yeah,
thoughts.
you just do like a surface level.
Yeah. I don't need to succeed to do this way.
No, I think it just happens.
Hmm.
It's only if you want to delve deeper, she has to make a check. Well, first of all, I imagine you do this subtly behind like Lewin's back or something,
Oh, I
so she
have
doesn't
my
notice.
subtle. Yeah, I'll just do it like this. Like,
Yeah. Okay. You get at the top, you get like frustration, a little bit of like anger, but then a lot of regret and a lot of guilt.
Okay.
And she's thinking about Van Richten a lot.
But are these feelings in association with the man?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
Oh yeah. All right.
You don't know this.
No, yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm just that's Nathan thinking. Um, can what kind of books are we seeing in this fucking place, by the way?
Is this woman an elf? Sorry,
No, she's human.
she's human.
Basically, it's easier if you tell me what you're looking for.
Okay, so I'm looking for a couple of things right now. I'm looking for
'Cause,
vampire.
Like, there are books on like everything.
I'm looking for vampire and werewolf lore.
Okay.
I'm looking for the like history of Barovia, as well as like history since Stratus came here,
Okay.
and I'm looking for history of Strahd.
Okay. I'm gonna ask for 3 checks, one for each of those categories.
Okay, investigation.
Yes.
Okay, so
So vampires and werewolves.
vampires and
Maybe we
werewolves
split that up
first.
into two actually.
Vampires and werewolves.
Do them
Numero
with 2
uno
checks.
as a 20,
Okay.
and Strahd and Barovia in general is going to be a 24.
Okay. What was the first thing?
And Strahd, just in general. Strahd and Barovia. So history of Barovia, history of
You
Barovia
just said
after Strahd happened, and Strahd, like
okay.
Strahd himself.
So third check roll for Strahd.
Third check for Strahd, 24.
You lucky
Okay.
son of a bitch. God damn.
I have a +8 in investigation. I was built for this,
You
literally.
fucking you rolled really well, which does help.
That
Um,
is true.
after some time,
Mm-hmm.
in total, you probably would spend a good like 15-20 minutes just like poring over like the spines of tomes, like looking around. You find a book on lycanthropy.
Okay.
It doesn't delve too much into the specifics of werewolves,
Mm-hmm.
but it talks about the curse as a whole.
Okay.
You would learn the um, the following knowledge that creatures of lycanthropy can change at will
Okay.
into whatever the creature is. They can also turn into hybrid versions between them.
Which is probably what we
Um,
thought.
they can only be affected by magical means. Normal weaponry cannot harm them. However, silver is extremely effective
I was
against
right. Haha.
lycanthropes. Um, they regenerate very quickly and easily.
Okay.
And what else? In their like not human form, but like in their like non-cursed form,
Mm-hmm.
they still possess the senses of the creature they turn into. So like a werewolf will still have the like the
The
smell and the
smell and shit.
hearing
Okay.
of a wolf as it's in human form.
Understandable. Okay.
You learn all that.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, history of Barovia.
Did I get anything for vampires?
You got nothing for vampires.
Nothing. Oh, okay. Okay.
Barovia
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna say you managed to find a book that
Mm-hmm.
say they just have it was like a history book of the land that is now called Barovia, and somewhere near the back, it seems that somebody has added an entry
Mm-hmm.
that details events more recently.
Okay.
So, taking the time to read all this, you discover that the land of Barovia used to exist in like
Like in an actual
a
place.
place you're not familiar with the name of. It was an actual place.
Yeah.
Uh, like If as in if you guys were from um like
Forgotten Realms.
Forgotten Realms, this
Mhm.
was like in what's the fuck the other one called? Eberron?
Yeah. So it was like
Yeah.
it's literally it's listing a world that it was in as well as a country. So it's like it was in a physical
Also,
place.
it's listing the country,
Okay.
which is a country you probably never heard of.
And as
So
a scholarly individual, it was either on the other side of the world or it's on a different world.
yes,
Okay.
because otherworld, it's known other worlds exist.
Yeah.
That's normal,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
yeah. So you discover that. So it's not from your where you came from. You know that much at least.
Yeah. It is not from
Anyway,
Christendom.
so you discover about Barovia,
Mm-hmm.
how it used to be a very idyllic land, very like Toussaint in nature. Like everything was great, everything was perfect, it was beautiful, it was a lovely place. And then so a lot of the book details of like the history of the land, none of that's really interesting to you. The entry at the end is what catches your eye, as
Mm-hmm.
it details in like shorthand notes. It's something about an invader came to Barovia at the head of a massive army. Um, the it had been like whoever the invader was had been like waging a war and had pushed the last remnants of whoever he was fighting into like Barovia.
Uh-huh.
Due to the nature of Barovia with the mountains, it's a very like funneled kind of area.
That's a great choke point.
Um, yeah, all like the remnants of an army and refugees all end up going fleeing to somewhere called Argenvostholt, which was the seat of power of a order of knights and like paladins. They called the Silver Legion. Um, as the refugees and army were pushed there, this invader with his army, the head of his army, came in, like surrounded that place, and though the knights like did their damnedest to fight them back, they were all slaughtered to a man, as well as all the refugees and remnants of the old army. The invader then claimed Barovia as his own, built a castle, sent for his royal family. As it turned out, he was the prince of a land. Sent for his family to come and like this have this become like the new like capital, almost have it become the new seat of power for this um dynasty.
Hmm.
From all this though, you can't really get a time frame,
Yeah.
and you presume this is talking about Strahd, but it does not mention him by name.
But an invader conquering the land and building a castle.
Yeah,
Hmm. Hmm.
and that's where that entry ends.
I really like the idea that whatever book it is just ends with the phrase, and then the mists came. Or something just fucking ominous.
We cannot get out.
Oh, fuck! That's even darker.
Oh God, he's coming! Help me! Help me!
Alright.
The writing just trails off.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Ah.
yeah, so it ends pretty much with that,
Mm-hmm.
with talking about how the invader like brought his family, his court, like basically moved his capital to be here essentially, and
Mm-hmm.
that's where it ends. Um, any books on Strahd you do not find. You find not a single mention of him by name.
Okay.
And while you're looking, you do get the impression that like this library, say if it can hold 3,000 books,
Mm-hmm.
you can tell from a glance there's only about 2,000.
Interesting.
This library is not complete.
Hmm.
So that's what
Alright.
you spend basically like half an hour to 45 minutes doing. Loon, Land, do you do anything during this time?
I don't even remember what it is you But anyway, are there any bits about spells and stuff?
Oh,
How does it actually work for a wizard? If you read the book, do you get the spell, or do you have to wait
You,
to level up?
if you find like a spell book, you can basically like copy the spells into your own spell book.
But it costs money.
If you're not in a spell where you can own a certain number of spells.
Oh yeah, because your spell book can hold like an unlimited amount of spells really,
Okay.
so it can. But the amount you can prepare doesn't change until you
Yeah,
level up. So yeah, that's why like it's kind of a big deal if you can find a spell book full of spells that you don't currently have or something.
Okay. So I don't have to wait to level up to actually put that spell in my spell.
No, you can just copy it into it. As far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, Nathan.
You can copy spells into it, but it requires money. It's
Yeah.
50.
Yeah,
It's
technically,
50.
yeah.
50 gold per level of spell.
Yeah. It means if you want to copy a spell, it costs 50 gold.
Yeah, nah. Forget it. I'm going to do a totally different thing.
I mean, you know, make it easier for you. You don't find any spell books.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Like, you spend maybe 15, 20 minutes looking around, and you don't find any. You find no books containing spells. Or any books about, like, magic, really.
Okay, is there a book about curses and the kind of potentially the kinds of whatever curse category it is that affected these creatures around me? That's one type of book I would like to know about. The other one is just this particular abbey and potentially that guy, the abbot.
Okay. Roll me 2 investigation checks.
Save.
No, investigation check.
Wait. Yeah. So I did this.
No, investigation.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Don't intimidate the books.
Mm.
Did it roll?
Yep.
And one more.
One more, yeah. Okay. So the first question was about the inhabitants of this abbey and their curse type thing.
Hmm.
I would say, yeah, you find a book that talks about something very similar. It talks about this almost like abhuman race called mongrel folk, which are these humanoids who have animal body parts and that are able to like breed with each other and pass on those traits. It's not really glean. It's just like kind of like a book that like mentions them. You get the feeling that like it's a very similar case to what's going on here.
Yeah.
It doesn't mention anything though about it being from
Anyone.
magic or healing or where it comes from. Like it just talks about them as like a normal race of creatures almost. Secondly, anything about the abbots?
Oh, sorry, wait. Does it say anything about those creatures' abilities or
It says
strengths and weaknesses?
basically that they possess the ability of like animal parts they have. If a creature's born with wings, it can fly. If it has like insanely good, like if it has wolf ears, it can hear as well as a wolf. If it has the legs of a horse, it can run as fast as a horse.
Okay.
Like they're almost seen as like improvements. That talks about how like the mongrel folk try and breed with each other in such a way to get like the best traits in their offspring.
So they are very intelligent.
It doesn't speak of them as being non-intelligent, so it doesn't.
No, like not just intelligent, but like also ability to be devious and plan and strategic.
As well as any creature. Yeah,
Huh?
as well as any creature.
Hmm.
Okay, I don't know. That's
As well as any
other
humanoid
animals.
creature.
Yeah, like. Thanks.
You want information on the abbot slash the abbey? You could definitely find information on the abbey.
Okay.
You don't know anything about the abbot. You read about how the abbey was presumably you think maybe before Strahd's time was an extremely well thought of like hospital. People from everywhere would come here for healing, and like 99 times of 100 would be healed of any and all ailments and diseases and sicknesses and injuries. Um, yeah, well reputed hospital, very learned men and women worked here. Um, it was like a place of like enlightenment and science and advancement. So, which almost twinges a little bit to think how far it's fallen. So yeah.
Is there any information about celestial beings or anything like that? Abbott, like any whatever. If I looked at him, like when I heard about what he is or what I saw,
Yeah.
if there are keywords that pop in my head, are there any books mentioning those keywords or about any of those keywords?
I think you would probably maybe find a book that might talk about like celestial beings, but in a very like mythological, fantastical way of like we don't understand what these are, but people have like seen them and like talks about how like they're so like holy and like what else like good, like the antithesis to demons and devils and stuff like that, and like it's a yeah, you probably find a book that actually details a lot about like almost like reads like a fable of like it sounds like it's some like war between like angels and demons and stuff.
Yeah.
But like it's hard to really parse if it's accurate or if it's just like a not fiction, but like if it's embellished.
From where I'm standing, can I see what Esmeralda is reading?
Yeah.
Yeah. What is she reading?
She's potentially meant to kind of like read some of the words, but she seems to be reading some book that details. You think rituals or curses?
Okay. So, if I had Sharp on me, would he be allowed inside the library?
Do you have Sharp on you? Is he dead or alive?
I think he died last time.
Fight recently? For him to be dead?
He did not partake in the werewolf combat. I don't know if that was because you forgot about him or because he's dead.
I don't know, he died. I don't know. He doesn't fight. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
No, I mean it does.
No,
You kind of need to know if your familiar's alive or dead or not right
can
now.
I look at her and can I like vaguely tell what age she might be?
Give me a second. Is Fergus's familiar alive?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Sharp probably is too then, because I vaguely recall
Both
something
them
happened
reviving
where
them.
both of them died at the same time.
Yeah, and then we brought him back to life.
Not only
So
is
I'm
Nathan's
pretty
going
sure-
more alive, it's currently giving him advantage.
It's currently giving me advantage on books. It's currently giving me advantage on reading. The lizard's reading one book and projecting it into my brain, and I'm reading another book.
Well, it doesn't work because in order to see through its eyes, you have to blind
No,
yourself.
it's not. It's just reading it to me, because it can portray emotions. It can send emotions direct into my head.
Emotions.
Yeah.
Okay,
Like happy as A, sad as B, ennui as C.
Looking through, I would like to see through his eyes to see it.
You know what I mean?
Okay. You do so. I mean, she sees Sharp fly over. She kind of like does like that kind of thing as he flies near her, and then she kind of like looks at
She's just
you.
like, don't mind him. He's friendly. He's just, taking.
All right. She kind of like goes back to her book.
I just have another book open now, so I'm reading that.
Yeah, Sharp's above her. And you want to look at the book through his eyes?
Yeah, I want to see what she's thinking.
Okay. So your eyes gloss over. and you look through Sharp's eyes. Um, yeah, you can see she's definitely reading a book that seems to talk about common practices in lifting curses. But a lot of it sounds like, like folk talesy kind of lifting of the curses. Like, go get X, Y, and Z herb, brew them in a pot,
Mm-hmm.
uh, drink that, and then walk around a goat skull 3 times, that kind of stuff.
Okay, as a wizard, what's my opinion about this sort of thing?
Most of it reads like gobbledygook.
Okay, it's just some country shit.
Yeah, like,
Okay.
you know that straight up, best way to remove a curse is probably to use the remove curse spell
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Not this, like, peasant semantics.
Yeah. Okay. I
But
just
she seems to be like flicking through and like with the way she's like reading it, and as you like go back to your eyes and you can you look over her, she's like going kind of thing. You get the impression that she also knows that it's not
what she's
accurate.
looking for.
Yeah, you get the impression that it's not what she's looking for. Yeah,
Oh.
as she kind of like gets towards the end of the book and like goes like frustrated and like puts the book back on the shelf and like kind of stands hands on hips like looking at the books like just like looking for something.
Did you say that I found a book on curses?
Yeah, I can't remember now. Did I?
Yeah, I think you said I found a book on this animal.
Oh, you found a book that dealt
Yeah.
with them, but it wasn't like at no point did it use the word curse to describe them.
Okay. I just casually started a conversation with Fergus about what he may have learned during his academy days about curses and lifting curses, and just be like, "Oh, did you ever do this?"
You gonna what?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Grade
So-
7
Are you making tea?
subject
Oh,
on
it's just asking if
lifting
you are.
curses.
I'll make you tea.
Thank you, darling.
Fergus.
Yeah, sorry, I was asking about tea. What were you saying?
Yeah. Yeah, so I basically started a conversation with you about talking about the what we learned at the academy and ask you, oh, did you take this grade 7 exam on curse reversal?
I-
I said like loudly, quite obviously loudly.
Okay.
I took the what the fuck? I took the theory on it, and I never managed to go through the practical.
Yeah, but in your opinion, do you think that, you know, magical methods of lifting curses are clearly far superior to anything that common man comes up with?
Well, anything a common man comes up with isn't going to be very effective. Most of the time, when curses are made like that, they're made with specific fail safes in mind, and that's what they're trying to break.
Yeah, this is what I try to tell my clients a lot too when I used to work with, in the little neighborhood.
It's
But
trying to. It's trying
people don't
most of
listen.
most of the time. It's trying to force someone to do something they don't want to do, which is the thing.
Yeah, that's the sad part, isn't it? And the
Hmm.
sad thing is that people don't even know what to look for. It's especially when it's right in front of their eyes. It's a bit
That's-
sad, huh?
That's true. Yes, I see.
But yeah, the point is, basically anything that common man, village folk would have come up with, and anything we read in all the old folk tales, this stuff doesn't work, does it? It just sends you on a wild hunt for things just lying about, and then it doesn't really amount to anything. I don't think magic is the true way to reverse these curses, in my opinion.
Yes, I
Okay,
would.
I'm not an idiot. What are you suggesting? You telling me I'm wasting my time? I should just leave?
Well,
It depends on what kind of curse you're looking at.
yeah, why don't you share what's on your mind?
Why should I?
Because we might be able to help.
As ironic as it sounds, we are here to help.
And we could also use some help, so we're near here, and we would, yeah, you know.
Kind of like looks at each of you, a solid few seconds each. Do you know of the Vistani?
Yes, indeed we do.
Do you know that Vistani have the power to cast curses?
No, we do not know
I
that.
believe I heard
Well-
something about that.
We do.
She's a stunning.
I mean,
Preemptively.
all right, and you're
It's
looking
just
to
we
have a
do.
curse that you have cast removed?
I want to remove a curse that my mother cast. However,
Hmm.
there has never once been a case of the Vistani curse being lifted.
Wow. Okay.
I see. Hmm.
Do you know much about what a Vistani curse is? What is it?
And I take it I can guess the individual that you're looking to place it against, or cure it.
I think you probably can make an educated guess.
Then my condolences, ma'am. If we can find him, we can try our best. We have some quite proficient individuals in our company, which should be able to perform some magics.
I'm not sure what you mean by we.
As in,
Us.
myself and my compatriots.
I doubt you'll find him.
I mean, we've survived this long. I think we can find anyone if we have pointed in the right direction.
It's kind of like just hold your gaze for a second. Kind of like get the feeling like she's trying to like suss you out.
Mm-hmm. I'm unsussable, bitch. I'm ineffable. You don't know. You don't know what's going on in my fucking tinker.
In a way.
What you got? What's mm?
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh no, I asked if she feels responsible for this, and she said yeah.
Hmm.
And why exactly are you so pessimistic about finding a solution to this? Is there something about Vistani curses that make them so irreversible?
I don't know what makes a Vistani curse so powerful. That is why I've had a lot of difficulty discovering a means to lift it. There's very little knowledge about it.
Why would you want to lift the curse off of Van Richten in the first place? After what we've read that he's done.
Oh, believe me, I know what he's done. And for a time, he deserved it, but not anymore.
Hmm. All right. All right. We can see what we can do. If you honestly, if you would know anywhere that we may be able to find him.
Kind of like looks at you and is like, if I knew where to find him, I wouldn't be here. I'm trying to find him.
Well,
And if he can evade me, his greatest pupil, I don't think you'll have any luck.
but what? Just please, just humor me. What does he look like? An older man?
Yes.
Does he have any talents for disguise? Can he hide, or can he? Is he a wilderness man? Does he live in the woods? What are we talking about here?
Do you know if
He
there was,
lives wherever he needs.
do you know if there was ever a place where he would seek comfort?
Yes, but not in Barovia.
So
He
he's
came
in,
here on a single-minded mission. He's going to kill Strahd or he's going to die.
so he's from outside as well.
Of course he is.
Is he? But when he was in Barovia, which I'm assuming he was in for a time before before everything happened, where would he have gone to seek comfort or solace or alone time?
Van Richten came to Barovia for the first time a couple of months ago. He had not been here before.
Hmm.
Is there a
As
way?
I'm sure you've maybe noticed by now, nobody leaves Barovia save Vistani.
Indeed, I suppose. Wait,
There's this-
you can leave Barovia?
Yes,
What? How?
because I'm Vistani.
How do you? How?
No, but
Where?
what's the actual physical movement? You just walk out?
Because Strahd lets us.
Why?
Why?
Yes.
Legend says long time ago, before he was vampire he is today, he was wounded after a battle and some Vistani saved his life and nursed him back to health. And since then, he's held Vistani in a high regard.
Hmm.
He mostly allows us to leave to bring back news of the outside world. Sometimes he pays certain individuals to bring back fineries and exotic pieces of things from different lands. This is what I hear. I don't belong to any of the Vistani bands who live in Barovia.
Well, that's actually very good news for me. Because you just assuaged a great many of my fears, ma'am.
Such as?
I was under the assumption that this was hell. But if good people like yourselves can come and go as they please, it certainly is not that.
Most Vistani are not good people.
You are.
Just kind of like looks at you for a second. Most Vistani are not good people.
Most people aren't good people. Anyway, we can keep an eye out for Van Richten. If we find him, we will attempt to alleviate the curse in any way that we can. We have outsider knowledge from beyond these lands, therefore that may be of a benefit. But if you have any...
Do Vistani ever bring anyone from outside the mists in?
I believe so. I think there's some that Strahd pays to specifically lure people in here. I'm not sure. I've still been getting. I only came here shortly after Van Richten, so I've been trying to learn as much as I can from the Vistani who live here.
But such individuals do exist.
Hmm,
That would do it.
I believe so.
Sorry, Fergus. Go ahead.
No. And he works alone? He wouldn't team up with anyone else from the outside?
Who, Van Richten?
Indeed.
I was essentially his apprentice, and he was reluctant to team up with me.
Why did he team up with you?
Guilt.
I see.
She like looks at you but doesn't answer.
For out of character, fucking, we got told of all the shit that Van Richter did out from Buster, I believe. It's in my notes.
And Richter.
You find a journal on the top floor
Journal. Yeah,
that details what he did.
yeah. He fucking set zombies onto a village.
Yeah.
And
Oh, if
got,
I recall specifically, it was he set zombies onto a group of Vistani.
so and then so he must have set it onto Esmeralda's fucking family, and Esmeralda's mum cursed him for it, and now she's trying to lift the curse because she's a good person.
Do you remember we had the debate with Bree about it? About how Bree's like, nah, he's a fucking bad person and I'm murdering him.
Yeah.
That's what I had with that guy.
It is that guy. The Bree wants to murder.
Yeah.
Speaking
It's not
of,
murder if it's justified.
Speaking of, Bree bursts in is like, "I cunts."
Nah, Bree doesn't give a fuck about the library.
What's going on here?
Bree.
We are books.
I just want to ask, Bree, what would you do after you left the abbot?
I want to search the monastery, see if I can find a basement or something that used to resemble an armory, or
Okay.
somewhere in the monastery would keep its like goods in case anything's left over from the revolution that I can like
Okay.
put in a store
If you're
or find any
specifically
information
looking at
from.
basement, there is the stairs that lead down in the dining room area that you're currently, as you're like leaving the abbot, there's the stairs that like lead down in that room.
I'll start with that. Then.
You can start there. That's you don't need to move yourself, but it's on the other map. It's just a
Cool.
cellar. So in there's let's see. Yeah, you basically just find yourself in a big wine cellar. Barrels near the room are empty. They're all emblazoned on the barrels with the name Wizards of Wines. Um, Most of the barrels say purple grape smash number 3. 4 barrels against the south wall say red dragon crush.
She.
There's a wine rack with about 30 bottles of the purple grape smash and about 20 bottles of the red dragon crush. Oh, as you're like looking around, one bottle like kind of stands out to you, and you like kind of look at it and you're like, oh, okay, that stands out because there's no wine in it. You look at it and you're pretty sure you can see like what looks like a bit of paper or like a note or a scroll or something inside it. You like
Fucking empty
pick it up. Yeah. As you like pick it up, you see it says instead of purple grape smash or red dragon crush, this says champagne de l'estompe. And as you like hold it up, like yeah, there's definitely like a note or a scroll or something inside it.
Can I get the note out?
Yeah, I'd say you could like if you unstopper it with the cork,
Yeah.
you'd be able to like kind of get a finger and like pull it out. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, give it a read.
Inside, you find a spell scroll of Hero's Feast.
Oh.
That may come in handy.
Like scroll up again. Back in the bottle. Cork on it. Put it back in the thing.
Okay.
Cool.
Aside from that, nothing really catches your eye. It's just a wine cellar.
Like, bounce back up to see the diva still there as I like leave the wine cellar.
Yeah. As you walk past, he seems to be, from what you can tell, it looks like he's essentially teaching etiquette to Vasilka. She's like sitting at the table and he's like pointing at like specific utensils. You hear him saying like, "Ah, yes, you use this one for soup. Use this one for small pieces of food, and this one is for the fourth course." Like, it teaches like the etiquette of like utensil, like banquet eating and stuff.
this is your monastery, but if I find anything in here that could be useful in our quest to alleviate the curse in this land, could I requisition it as to be part of the monastery?
Of course, anything you find that you deem useful in your endeavors, please, you are welcome to
Oh,
take.
thank you very much.
Our goals are the same.
Of course. Right, but to get the scroll. Go, oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Cool. You got the scroll? Very good. Okay. As you come back up, there's the upstairs, or you can go out into the courtyard and to the other building.
I think probably to the other building.
The other building?
Upstairs
Okay.
seems upstairs seems like it's his sort of like bedroom place. So like go in there.
Maybe. That's where the music's coming from. That's all you really know about it.
I'll wait. I'll wait.
Okay. So you head outside into the courtyard. In the courtyard, you see um, imagine Kage is standing like near one of the the door that leads outside again. Otto and Zebrik are both there, both kind of like just chatting with each other, like patting Kage. They both like look at you as you walk out, but never like make any moves to approach or anything. You just head straight over to the other building.
I just want to give them a wave. Do you know where the do you know the abbey is? The cathedral. It's over this way.
You kind of like looked at each other. The Abbey.
Aye, well, this is a monastery. It usually has like a church, like a place of worship in it, doesn't it?
They kind of like they look a little confused and like look at each other, and then Zibrik's like kind of like gestures to like everything. This is all the Abbey.
I don't know what. It's close enough. Thanks for your help.
It's like look really confused and like kind of look at each other and like, huh?
I should just looking at whatever. Right, I'll find it myself.
So,
Next.
okay, so you head over to the other building. You
Hmm?
open the door, find yourself in that little like smashed up office kind of area. Um, as you come in here, you go around the corner. I'd say you could probably hear the voices of the rest of your party above you, as well as the voice of a woman, a woman's voice you don't recognize, with a certain like kind of exotic kind of tilt to it. Um, as you're like walking in though, you look down that corridor and see that like standing stationary halfway up is this Frankenstein-looking creation.
Good dormitory. So like walk up to it and go, what's past there then, pal?
You begin to like walk up to it.
Mhm.
As you like take a few steps up into the corridor, it's like completely stationary. It almost seems to like animates and like the eyes kind of like fix on you, and it like holds a hand up like that.
Stop and I go, what's in there?
Doesn't seem to answer. As you kind of look, it doesn't actually look like it has a mouth. As you get closer,
Fair enough. Like, it's like peeking one of like there's no like doorways in this. There's only the end doorway.
so it's standing like halfway up. You're basically like here. Wait, let me ping it. You're basically standing like here, like between two doors,
Uh-huh.
and it's like halfway up the corridor, just standing like this, completely still.
Can I like peek my head into the rooms to see what's in them?
Yeah, you can look in the rooms. In
There's like no corridors like around this one in them or anything. Is it?
you look into this room, you can like all these rooms you see that at like human head height. There's like a couple like grates to like look inside. At the bottom, there's also like a small like trapdoor kind of slot where one could presumably like slide in food or something. Um, as you look inside, you see what looks to be like was once a bedchamber. Like a bed's been completely destroyed, furnishings destroyed, and you see in like in the corner, there's like three of these like mongrel folk of various different animal parts, all kind of like huddled around something. You see one in the middle is like holding something like that glints and shines in the darkness. You're not exactly sure what it is.
They seem feral, or are they
Like the closest like depiction I can think is like maybe like monkeys.
Oh God.
Like there's almost an intelligence there. Like they're doing something. They seem to be communicating, but but they don't seem like feral. You know.
All right. Okay,
Paul,
what's the other room? Like
Okay.
pick out before
You look in the other
I get the
one.
fight with three monkeys.
are you ready for a random chimp event?
I'm ready to fucking smash some heads and then get told off by an angel.
I'll have to take your face now. It's like, okay.
Joe Rogan.
This one is just packed full of mongrel folk. Uh, it's it's difficult to count actually how many. Um, you get the impression there's at least maybe a dozen, maybe more, all just like like shrieking and like barking and like different sounds coming from them as they're like some of them seem to be like fighting. You're not really sure. You can see there's definitely some like bones and like what looks like bits of corpse in the room as well.
Hmm.
We're talking like animal bones, or are we talking like?
It's hard to say. At a glance, you think, yeah, you don't see anything big enough of like you don't see any like human femurs or like human
Oh,
rib
yeah, yeah.
cages. Like it looks like probably small animals. Um, as like one or two like see you at the door, they kind of like look towards you. And you hear them like just saying like food, food over
Close
and
it.
over again. As like more of them notice and like you just hear them all like chanting like food.
Just close it. Well, all right then.
Yeah.
Well, I guess this place is pretty fucked. Go talk to the boys outside, see what they know.
Yeah. Okay.
Head back out. You. What's happening in there?
This is the Otto and Zebra. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They kind of like look at each other like, what do you mean?
24 of you folk trapped in a room shouting for food. And what the yon crazy one down the hallway that just holds his hand up and doesn't let you past? What's happening with that?
It's for safety.
So leave them in there and is he keeping something in?
The abbot says it's for the safety of Kresk.
I suppose that's true. If you unleash these things in Kresk, it wouldn't go well.
He worries if members of our family were to get out,
Aye, but
people will die.
what about the big golem? Why is he's not keeping anything in there, is he? He's just stopping people from entering that part of the monastery.
He makes sure none of our brethren get out.
I look back at like a large part of the monastery that's just like sealed. Like, sure, all the lobbies in there today.
Yes, many.
Yeah. So just like cast my head down the well, look around a bit in the courtyard.
Oh, you
see
go
if
look down the
anything's
well?
changed. Yeah.
As you look down the well, you like see that maybe like 15, 20 feet down in like the darkness of the well, you just see like a trio of bright red eyes staring up at you.
I just look back at the auto and I'm like,
Otto kind of like sees you like looking and is like, "Get back from the well! Don't disturb him." As you like hear like a of like a scuttling.
What's in the
Nightmarish.
well? It can't be that big down there.
Would say.
It's like it can't be that big down there, can it?
Do you look in the well again, or do you walk away?
No, I walk away.
Okay, just checking. Yeah, it sounded like something was coming up the well, and as you like walk away, you get the sound of it like receding.
So like, look at it, like look at all the side of my eye and go, you did. Is he always like that?
Ah, that's Mishka. We can't get him out. He likes the dark.
Seems like he's more than happy to pull you in.
That does happen.
So like, and do you come back?
Kind of like looks at Zibrik.
Hmm.
No.
Fair enough, I guess. Just wanna like cut back to those guys' race. I need to like think on what Bree's gonna do.
Okay. So, you everyone's. You're in the middle of chatting with Esmeralda.
Mm-hmm.
I don't recall the exact last thing said.
Just fucking. If we find him, we'll fucking fix him. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome to try.
Thank you. Those, from what we've heard about him, we weren't exactly willing to do it, but now that we've heard that you've forgiven him, we're much more reticent to try.
It's kind of like looks at you and like nods slightly.
If it's a way for us to get out, then we will definitely help.
And as we said, any individual that is a enemy of Strahd is a friend of ours.
Yeah.
Well, I can certainly be counted as an enemy of Strahd.
Then we are in accord.
For the time.
Nod.
No.
Well, I think that's all the research that we can do for the day. What do you think, chaps?
Some valuable research was done,
Indeed, it was.
I think.
Where will you be heading next, Esmeralda, if you don't mind us asking?
Mm.
Just in case we come up with some more information. We'll say.
I don't see why not. The abbot is odd, but I found him to be nothing if excessively honest.
Ask him if he's an angel or not.
I already said he was.
Yes, but I think it should be more likely to believe him.
Did he ever ask you for a favor?
Yes, he called me very beautiful and asked me to relinquish my face. I naturally declined. He seemed off-put, but accepted it.
Hmm.
But he lets you come in and leave. He lets you leave.
I don't see why not.
I guess we'll find out. But, yeah. I just don't really trust this man.
Sorry, what were you saying? You asked a question at the start as well, Fergus.
Where are you going next, just in case we find any more information to tell you?
I'm not sure yet. I might go to Argenvostold, or I might take another trip into Ravenloft. It depends.
Wait, what?
You venture into Ravenloft,
Yes, I've been twice already.
as in the castle.
As in the castle, yes. How else am I going to learn how to kill Strahd if I don't know how his castle layout works and whatnot?
Fascinating. You didn't think anyone would be able to make it in or out alive?
Well, if one can go unseen as I can, then
Ah,
one
I
should be
see.
alright.
I see. Alright. Thank you again. I hope we see you two again with better news.
Perhaps we will. If none of us die before then.
As is always the hope. Good day to you. And just fucking pop, out the door.
Okay, you leave.
What about the resties?
Yeah.
Fucking, are you gonna come with us? Okay.
Land, you follow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You follow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah, you all head back outside, where you would see Bree just kind of standing in the middle of the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that, but yeah.
How would we get out of here and then compare notes?
What was that, Brady?
How about we get out of here and then compare notes?
Just mind if I ask him one question?
Hmm.
Alright. For now, if you don't mind, one more question. You've been here quite some time. Where would I go about getting some better armour?
So who's this to? Is this to...
The abbot.
Oh, you go back to the abbot. Okay. Alright, you head back in. He's still seems to be, like, teaching Vasilka something. You walk in, you're like, oh yeah, where can I get some better armor? And he kind of like, it's like, that is a good question.
I've not seen many smiths around here, you see.
I believe an armor smith would be a rare commodity in Barovia. Therefore, your best bet may be the armory of Castle Ravenloft. Or perhaps Argen Vostholt.
Arrogant Vast Hope. What's Arrogant Vast Hope?
The home of the Silver Legion.
Really?
The Silver Legion, I read about
Are you
it.
there, Fergus?
Where did you come from?
I thought that we all met up and they were like, oh, I'm just going to ask this cunt one more question.
Oh, so did you follow him?
I'd
Sorry,
imagine.
Bree went by herself because everybody else
Did
just
you-
freaked the fuck out.
Well, I'm staying outside.
I don't think I'd be happy leaving you alone anymore after everything we fucking figured out. But if you want
Okay,
to
so
go in
Fergus
alone,
goes
that
with
is.
Bree.
If you want to tell me to fuck off, that is also totally fine. If you want to do this by
I
yourself.
didn't tell you to do anything. I just realised you were there.
No, if you're asking questions, I'm interested.
He's like, oh fuck.
I'm like, it's no. I know. I realize that this place is no longer hell, so I'm no longer as freaked out.
Okay. So you ask what's Argen Vostholt. Fergus answers, the home of the Silver Legion. And yeah, the abbot's like, that is correct. The Silver Legion once resided there.
Their arms and armour would still be there then. Surely it's pillaged by now.
They could be. I am not sure. However, given that they were a fighting force of paladins and knights, there is a good chance.
Where is it?
Sounds like the place. Well, thank you very much.
No, but where is Argot Vostholt?
That's a good.
It lies to the east, not too far from the village of Valaki. Sorry, town of Valaki.
To the east of
Southwest
Valaki.
from Valaki. Roughly a day or two travel.
Wonderful.
Well, thank you very much.
Of course.
Aye. Right.
Farewell.
Farewell. I think we do what Len says and go back into Crest. See what we all find.
Indeed. It's a very good idea.
Fergus, I was so scared to leave everyone else alone after meeting this guy that he's just like pulling everyone by the ears, like, no.
I'm just like, don't leave me alone.
What's wrong with you, Fergus? It's like you've seen an
Okay.
angel or something.
It's because we've literally seen an angel.
Aye, and you see a paladin every day. It doesn't freak you out.
It's because I know for a fact that you can die from mortal wounds. I don't know if that thing could.
Oh, they can. Happens all the time.
What?
If you say so.
Have you never read the stories? Battles between heaven and hell in the plains.
Not in my books, no.
I forgot yours is a weird religion, isn't it? One of them unorthodox ones. Then you have like real gods and anything in it.
Just the one
The,
god,
the real
actually.
world, Fergus, the one we all live in. The gods are real, and sometimes they appear to people, and their angels appear.
Yes,
well.
I'm aware of that as
uncommon,
well,
but it's
yes.
known to happen.
Yes, I'm
especially
aware
in
of
the higher
that.
plains.
Yes. Never heard of an angel dying, though.
They fight and die all the time.
If you say so.
Doing battle with the forces of hell.
If you say so. Alright, let's go and see if we can have a little look around Kresk.
Okay. So, you guys leave. Imagine that conversation happened while you're like, you walk
Yeah.
out of
Also,
the
he
courtyard.
wasn't
I could
really
take
an
them
angel.
in.
You know, he was a deva. Slightly different.
Close enough.
He's, I mean, he's more angelic than any of us, but he's not really like, you know, in the scale of holy beings. He's definitely there, but
And this continues as you walk out the first
Mhm.
gate that you came into and stuff. And as you go through that, Otto and Zebrik would like close the gate behind you and like reapply the chain and the padlock.
Okay.
So, and you're now out of the abbey and can begin walking down the steep embankments down the road again.
Wonderful.
yeah, I just go over what the abbot told me to everybody, so
Oh,
everyone
no,
else
she's still in the
knows.
library. So she is.
Yeah, I'll just go through whatever everything I talked with about the abbot.
Mhm.
The whole
Okay.
conversation, I just relate to everybody.
Cool.
You know, he's
Yeah.
here keeping these here, and I don't think it's right in the head, but I don't really have enough to murder them, or like, you know.
We also tell her about everything
Also-
we found.
He told me where the bones were for the holy relic. Apparently, they're still in Valak. Coffin we got them. So,
In Valaki.
aye.
Well,
That-
then we have
does
more
that-
than one reason to go back there. Wonderful.
Doesn't that mean we can reconsecrate the church if we retrieve the bones? Or turn
It
them-
also probably means that the vampires then, so we'll have to fight the vampire.
Oh, that'll be fine. Why don't we go to
What? What have you found this newfound
I'm-
confidence?
Why don't we go to Argot Vostholt first? See
Well,
what
you
we can
struck by
scrounge up
lightning
there.
one times and your entire personality changes.
Right. I was being facetious. We go to Argot Vostholt after we have a little look around Kresk. See what we can drum up there.
Hold on, what? You have to go through Valaki to get the Argenvold hold. Let's go back to Valaki, get our reward for helping out the wine,
It's true.
get the remains back while they were there, make sure everything's alright, have a night in an inn, and then we go to Argenvold. How about that?
Alright, if you're happy with that.
I would really like a night at an inn.
So would I.
Also, I'd like to make sure that the shipments of wine get there.
Hmm.
And they're expecting us, and we are a couple of days behind schedule, so I don't want to worry them too much and make them think that we died.
Yes, fair enough. Okay.
So you're not staying in the arena? Didn't fancy the place after all?
You know, I've given it a lot of thought, and it was a really tough choice. But
I can imagine.
I think I'd rather stick with you guys, at least for a little while longer.
Oh, that's nice that you completely hate us. You know,
I'm glad that we're a better. I'm glad we're better companions than a gibbering mental asylum. That's always good to hear. Oh,
You do get close, Fergus. You do get close some days.
At all.
It is nice having you around, which does help.
it is nice.
I appreciate it.
All right, let's go have a little look around this weird town.
Okay. So you get to the bottom of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Is that where we'd like to end the session, given that it's 20 to 1?
Yeah, that's a nice little bit
ended
there.
there.
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you.
It's a long session with Sean tomorrow. So.
Oh yes, of course.
Sunday.
Tomorrow.
Oh, it is our tomorrow.
Hey, it's past.
It's our tomorrow too.
I suppose so. Yeah.
Yeah, get fucked.
Fucking well.
Fucking a wanker.
Alright, do we have a fucking name for this episode? The Gibbering Madhouse?
Easier.
I think that's it.
And what's your face? You don't
No,
need
it's
your
called
face.
Fergus Meets God.
You don't need your
Fergus
face.
meets God. That's actually yeah, I'll fucking put that one in.
Good.
Okay. Fergus meets
Oh,
God.
actually, I wanted to ask, who out of you three, who is keeping like the most well kept notes?
Would you like
Oh,
to see my
definitely.
notes?
Definitely
I'm
not
keeping
me.
notes, definitely.
I am
Probably
keeping
not.
I'm keeping track of like people and relevant
Okay.
things.
Yeah,
not
Navy, could
everything.
you send me your notes a second? Because I'm running Curse of Strahd for a group of people in Japan as well,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like one element that I have written on a bit of paper, and I have no idea if it's for your group or their group, and it's very important that I know.
Why don't you allude to it? And I'll tell you if I know what it is.
Is
Let me
it
glance at your notes, and then I will.
is
Okay.
it to do with whatchamacallit, the
He's not gonna say, just let him look at the notes.
card reading? Okay.
You fucking metagame it, cunts.
A request is sent. I mean, sent a request.
Oh, request access? I'm sorry, I'll fucking actually just fucking make it shareable.
Listen.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, can we get a new song to this, Sean?
Find me another good dark gothic fucking soundtrack.
I did! You keep queuing this one up.
You queued some
I've
whole.
listened to this song every D&D session
Then
for
fucking
the
I'm
past
sorry.
6 weeks.
God.
Every episode for 6 weeks.
Do you know what? I'm gonna add an exclusion to the bot, so every time you cue that, it skips it.
Fucking hell. All right.
I like this song. I think it's quite nice.
Yes, so do I, but
Thank
not
you,
every
Reese.
time. I like something different for once in a while.
That's fair.
If I hear dun-dun,
It's
dun-dun,
literally just a
dun-dun,
collection of songs.
dun-dun,
I'm sorry it's not enough variety for you.
dun-dun, dun-dun, again, for like the 8th session in a row.
We're gonna get
For 4
copyrights.
hours.
Gonna get
I'm
copyright
actually
strikes.
going to throw my monitor out the window, Sean.
Holy shit, Nathan, you've kept some insanely detailed notes.
Thank you. They get less
Like,
detailed as they go on because I have to type so much.
I'm very impressed because it reads like an actual journal of Fergus's.
It gets less like that as it goes on because I get a lot more information and I'm like fuck, type.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
They threw away my pies and then started laughing at me. After I stormed off, my feelings were hurt. She had the audacity to claim it was my fault. Such a battle axe.
I mean, Fergus
That's
is the
great.
biggest diva of the party.
Right?
No.
I'm gonna expand on the notes a bit when I have time to fucking write. I might actually do that tonight just so that you can have a fun time reading them.
Sorry, what?
Wow.
I didn't hear what you said. I mean, would you say something to me?
I did not say anything to you. I was trying to get Reese to listen to you, but clearly he doesn't care about you
Yeah,
at
it
all.
doesn't fucking happen. Anyway, I'm turning the fucking recording off now. Fuck it.